It's really beautiful. I've never experienced it before, so getting to watch it's been like a real treat.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
really like it's weird because you'd think a lot of games would like copy the Zelda format, but like there
yeah,
really isn't that
honestly,
many. And this
yeah.
one does it so uniquely and well that it's like, oh my god,
You'd
what's
think
going
there'd be
on?
more.
Fragilities is now following the pig pile, apparently. Thank you so much, Fragilities. I didn't even.
We got a new pig.
Oh my goodness, welcome.
Hello,
Um,
hello.
I
Welcome, Fragilities.
am still setting up the stream, but thank you so
You're
much.
quick on the
Yeah,
draw.
dude, that was frame one.
I was gonna say, like, we haven't even officially started yet. You're ahead of the curve.
Well done. All right,
A
well,
true pig.
yeah, really. Um, all right, well, happy to see it. You know, good shit. Still just. Oh yeah,
We love
God,
to see
there's a
it.
fight starting. There's an angry Cyclops bird.
Ooh. I was gonna say, he looks funky and relaxed.
Yeah, he is a whole kind of. I wonder if I can just get away from the mist. Yeah, I can. Sweet. What are you doing? You're just shaking a lot. It's
The art in
freaky.
this game is so fun.
It really.
Oh, it's like a mask.
Yeah, he wears like the mask, and it's like his head sometimes, and it's like a whole. Eh, no.
Cool.
He, like smokes a pipe with like fire. I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's arrows sometimes.
Don't poison me, please.
Poison is actually very rude. So if you could just not.
So if you could just not.
If you could just like not poison me.
If you could
that'd
just
be, like,
refrain from being a dick.
like, if you could just like take 5 seconds out of not being a dick, like just take 5 seconds. I know you can do it, and then just like not poison me. It'll be great.
If you could just examine yourself.
Just like, why don't we just like take a step back and analyze how we both approach this situation and see like ways we could have improved it.
All right, let me tweet that
On
on
that
live.
note, I just step away. I will be back in like
No
5
problem.
minutes.
No, I can't. Oh, we gotta talk to him more. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. No
Oh, what a
complaints.
voice crack now.
Oh, it's not a problem. Puberty was tough for everybody.
It sure is, buddy. Let me boot up Twitch so I can take a look at chat.
No problem. Weird thing happened. We got a new
yeah?
follower as soon as I went live.
Oh, interesting.
They're not in the chat, but I'm happy that they're here anyway. Hey Liam, how's it going? Also, Andy's just grabbing his food.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he just had some food delivered, so just grabbing that.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to ask when he gets back.
we'll have to find out, I guess. Okay, cool. I have chat open.
Sweet.
Let me retweet that we're streaming. Ba-ba-ba.
Kind of looks like a windmill or something. We use nothing to write home about. What if I do wind? Is it?
What if you do win the mill?
What if I wind the mill?
What if you...
What if I just put a bunch of stars in the sky?
Oh, the audio just went fucky for a second there.
Ooh, that's scary. How is it now?
It's fine now. It's just like an thing for like a second.
Hmm.
I think someone should name their D&D character Win D-Mill.
Win D Mill. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The whirlpool must be the Dragon Palace entrance or convention, but I don't really get this when the whirlpool galaxy spins part. Yeah, me neither, bud. Because it's like, okay, I don't see a galaxy. Use nothing right home about. Okay. Let's go talk to that guy again. I love the little faces in the distance. They're like, this is a person.
Yeah. Hey, that's some guy.
But shooting stars are rare now. If only a star would shoot right across the night sky, then I can make a wish upon
Like
it.
airplanes?
Like airplanes in the night sky?
Like shooting stars?
Like shooting stars? Make a wish right
Can you
now.
perhaps use a wish right now?
I could use a couple.
Me too, brother.
Okay. I understand now.
The world is
And then this is the funniest part. This is like poisoning the minds of today's youth with like fake physics. Watch what we're about to do to this whirlpool galaxy. Okay?
Okay.
You're gonna be like, okay, that's just not how that works. It's very funny though, in my mind. They're like, damn, why isn't the whirlpool galaxy opening up the whirlpool? So basically, like, I know we haven't really been paying attention to the story. I don't really care about that, but like, the basic premise of what we're trying to do is go to this underwater palace to convince the sea dragon to help us. And a couple people have been helping us, like the Empress of Sand City, who, like, the Emperor was the one who was sick, and so, like, her husband, who we already helped. And then there's a like a priestess named Ray. And she's also been trying to help. She was with the one who was riding on the dog in the sunken ship.
You're right. That is not how that works.
Yeah, I used some wind to spin the stars. Okay, if you're sure.
Follow this up with the Dog Island for Wii.
Oh, you're right. What a good idea.
Of, I'd say the same level.
same level of scientific license.
Yeah, and you know, creative gameplay. The plot does start out similar. You are helping people from the sick.
There you go.
Their dog. I only watched Game Grumps play it.
That's very funny. It seems like a Game Grumps kind of game, honestly.
I think they're at their best when they're playing a dumb game.
I feel like Game Grumps are definitely like a little bit underwhelming when the game's just really good.
Yeah.
And you're like,
when the game is
it's interesting. Well, it's interesting to listen to them and stuff, and like their takes on it and stuff. But it's like, you go to the Game Grumps to watch them like scream.
I go to them for goofs. Like,
yeah.
I do like the episodes where they just sort of like talk regularly, but that's because I like to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I like falling asleep to that because it's just like, I'm at a party, I'm falling asleep. Deep in the other room, well, my good friends Dan and Aaron are just talking about something outside. But yeah, when I was younger, I would watch them a lot more. But sometimes, most of the time now, it's either like my friend Dan will be like, "Oh, this episode is really funny," and watch it.
Yeah.
Or I'll fall asleep for like a compilation or something.
Yeah. I have never watched a Game Grumps playthrough. I've seen a video here and there. Like, I watched a video where they played a Naruto game, and it was very funny.
I was really into them in high school. I really liked, they played through Pokemon Fire Red and Trauma Center. Which was, their Trauma Center playthrough, I think, was my favorite.
I can imagine. I played through Trauma Center as a kid, and I can imagine that would be an experience watching a Let's Player do it.
Oh, it was very funny. They couldn't beat it. Do you know the level where like the floor is green and like really reflective? They were like, oh, that sounds like Jello, and in between the dialogue, it just makes squishing noises.
God.
Yeah, that was a good bit.
That's a lot. That's very funny though.
It was pretty funny. Oh.
So this is the Japanese myth equivalent of mermaids. They're people who live in like these giant oysters and clamshells and things like that, and they live at the bottom of the ocean. And the sea dragon is kind of like their king and also like their bodyguard. It is interesting because the water mythological creatures are very different depending on like where you go to.
Yeah.
Like they're similar in like what they do and like who they are, but they're different in like what their intentions are. Like in Japanese myth, they're very helpful, and like as long as you're like polite to them. Oh, your friend just butt dialed you?
My phone vibrated like Dan's calling you, vert, then missed call. So I'm pretty sure that was a butt dial.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say like they're very helpful as long as you're respectful and polite in Japanese folklore, whereas like in Western or Eastern European folklore, it's like they're violent and lying and deceitful.
Yeah. They're wily and they're gonna get shit.
They're gonna sing their song and you're just gonna be so turned on that you just have to drown yourself.
Love the Animal Crossing vocals on this guy.
Oh, this game having Animal Crossing vocals is so funny to me because there's so many like dramatic moments where all you hear is, and it's like, oh man. I kind of love it though. It's basically, I think originally they were not gonna do, they were gonna do like voiceover, but then they realized they couldn't afford to dub it, so they ended up going for Animal Crossing vocals like the whole way around instead of just doing like only Japanese vocals because they were like it's not gonna sell well in anywhere but Japan if we do Japanese vocals.
That's a really good call.
It's probably a good call, honestly.
I love it. I love it.
I think it's interesting because I like to think of it as like just like Ami is a dog and doesn't understand language very well, and so everyone just sounds like a Charlie Brown like parent.
That also works very well.
You know what I mean? And then like her little friend Isan is just like, hey, this is what they actually said, and she's like, oh okay.
This is what dogs actually hear. I actually took a look at my dog's DNA test results again today.
All good, hopefully?
Oh yeah, just seeing what breeds.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she is 22.6% small poodle, 18.2% Siberian Husky.
Oh, wow.
10.2% Pekingese, 8.4% German Shepherd, 8.2% Beagle, and 32.4% Super.
That's so interesting.
From DNA, she might have traces of Cocker Spaniel and Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
What a crazy mix.
Right? What a weird mix.
Yeah.
And like, you look at her and you wouldn't really see any of those breeds.
Yeah. No, seriously. As soon as you said Siberian Husky and German Shepherd, I was like, what?
Yeah, I have a small dog.
that's a tiny little girl.
She's about 22 pounds. And she's like taller than you think a small dog would be, but that's just because she has really long legs.
Yeah. So now we found out that we don't maybe need the water dragon's help. We just need the dragon orb, of which it's in possession. So she's like, oh, like it'll be difficult, but like you can go get it if you want, but you have to go inside the dragon. And you know, Ami's like, I'm down, but Isan is like, fuck you. I hate that you made this decision. Yeah, pretty much. Actually, wait, is the water dragon garden in the side rooms? I can't remember. Boom, boom, boom.
You know, since you don't know if it's in 7, but and it's not in Kiwami, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Kiwami, 0.
Mm-hmm.
But did you ever see Purgatory when you played Yakuza?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you never met the florist or anything.
No.
This vaguely looks like it.
Oh yeah?
Just a little bit, because it's it's an underground like city. By city, it's a street with like gambling and shit and a fighting.
Right.
But it's really pretty,
That's cool.
and the big house is sort of they're like similar. I'm kind of losing my Yakuza brain rot, which is weird because now I'm not like getting the rush of being like very focused on something.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna try to finish the games because I said I would.
Mm-hmm.
4 is kind of dragging for me though.
I get that.
Yeah, I just don't really care about the cop. You're playing as a cop, and I'm just like, I don't care about this guy. They just sort of slid him in as like a player for you, you know? Let me get to Kiryu.
Okay. Hello. What is this? Some kind of crossover episode?
Hey,
Andy, meet Julian. Julian, meet Andy.
yeah, hello.
It's nice to finally actually meet you.
I know. Wait, Andy, you like the mountain goats, right?
Yes.
I'm seeing them twice in October.
What the fuck?
So I got tickets.
Why
to
aren't you
see
bringing
them.
me?
Come over. I got tickets to see them in Brooklyn with my friends because they weren't coming to Boston, and then they just announced a Boston date a week before the Brooklyn date.
Ooh.
So
Oh
I'm
my
going to see the
God.
Mountain Goats. Then the next week I'm going to see 100 Gex, and then I'm going to Brooklyn to see the Mountain Goats.
Oh my god.
That's pretty
I'm
amazing.
so excited.
That's so tight. I haven't been to a concert in a fucking minute, man.
Dude, I know.
Like, even pre-pandemic, it'd been a long time.
I just work them, so I live
That's
in
fair.
a venue. I went to my first
I,
attending show last Friday, though. Not a
Oh,
snap.
nice. The last show I saw was, Mother, actually. They came to my town, and it was so fucking tight. The lead
Fantastic
singer,
band.
he, like, the way the lead singer sings is, like, fascinating, because he doesn't move his lower jaw when he sings, like most
Really?
people does. He moves the rest of his skull. It's like watching a Muppet talk.
Like a chicken?
Yeah, it's like a Muppet. Just the entire top of his head moves when he sings.
That's
It's so fascinating.
I'll look at a video of that.
It was just like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just like so bizarre, but like enthralling.
So funny.
Oh, it was so much fun. Such a fun concert.
Okay, I need to
Yeah,
find.
I worked Paris yesterday, if you know them.
Pardon?
I worked Paris yesterday, if you know them.
Oh, I don't know them.
They are just like a band, but they're like from Massachusetts, so it's kind of a show.
Cool.
The crowd was very gay though, which was cool.
Nice.
'Cause
Love
the
that.
singer's a lesbian, so it was a bunch of lesbian couples, which was really nice.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And they were all super polite, which is cool.
Are either of you aware of the band The Indigo Girls?
No.
Vaguely.
They're like one of those like titular lesbian bands, but it's mostly for like older lesbians. It's like mostly for like older millennials and like Gen X lesbians. But my ex was like fucking obsessed with them, and I once had to go to a concert with them, and it was like the Indigo Girls singing alongside a full orchestra,
That's cool.
which was crazy cool. It was like very strange but really cool. There was old lesbians fucking everywhere. It was hilarious.
That's like when I went into Provincetown. It was just like old lesbian couples and it's also the most dog-friendly city in the Northeast. Were you here when we had Dylan name all the states the other day?
Yeah,
No,
that was difficult.
You did a
I
great
would not
job,
be able to
buddy.
do that. I don't think I would do so badly.
There's like it's not that important, but like
I mean, there are a lot of them.
there's a lot.
There's a
it is
couple,
kind of
yeah.
funny though. Specifically though. Because I'm like, haha, I had school, but you guys are from different places.
Yeah.
Look at our differences. Ha ha ha. Oh, excuse me.
You're good.
I haven't had tempura in so long, and I'm like, I got 2 pieces of like shrimp tempura and a couple pieces of yam tempura, and I'm like living my best life right now.
We can dodge now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We love to see it.
What kind of truck is it?
Oh my god, Julian.
I'm turning into my father. Like, it's actually happening. I thought guys were joking, but no.
Yeah, no, I feel like we all reach a point where we're like, oh god, I'm the one making the dad jokes
like they've
now.
been getting worse and worse, and I just don't want to stop myself.
Oh, I don't have enough
Succumbing to the
money.
dad joke.
I need to sell things. It's because I donated all my money to this little shrine in the last stream because I was like, maybe I'll get something for it, and I didn't get anything for it, and I'm like, oh man. Now I'm really kicking myself. I think there's a dude at the shop over here. Oh wait, oh no, I've already fed the pig. Okay. I mean, look who's talking. Of course I fed the pig. I guess it maybe. Well, there's a shop in the city for sure. So I'm fine. Man, I wonder what that guy was doing who followed me. I keep thinking about him.
Oh.
I'm like, damn, dude. I'm so happy to see him, but I'm also like, damn, what's going on?
What's going on,
buddy?
Yeah.
Who are you? Come here.
Let's have a chat.
I didn't even get to offer him the Discord.
I wanna pick your brain.
I saw your fish too. Alright.
Yeah, I'm not modded, so I can't see who's watching stream.
Oh, true. Right now, it is Liam, yourself, and Andy.
Hi, Liam. Liam, say something in chat, or are you too busy playing
Xenoblade or some shit.
right now? Yeah.
No, Persona. He's playing Persona 5 right now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Final Fantasy 14.
No, it's not M.
One of my other friends has been really into it.
It's so, I have to tell you, it's been very
Sorry,
weird. I'm sorry, he says. You do not need to apologize. It has been very weird seeing Final Fantasy 14 like explode in popularity. Because like I've been playing it for like 6 years. And like it's like suddenly things that I've known for 6 years are like headlines, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I think at least part of it is I know a lot of people are like absolutely jumping ship from
Wow.
World of Warcraft right now and like going to Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Liam got max rank Akechi. I don't know what that means, but I'm proud of you. Is there something going on with World of Warcraft?
Mostly that
There's,
it's
like-
been super disappointing for the last like year and a half, and also
Yeah.
Blizzard shit.
Blizzard, like the
Oh,
Blizzard
yeah, I forgot
Activision
there was Blizzard.
lawsuits
Yeah,
are,
Blizzard.
yeah.
Absolutely
But like
fucking
also the fact that like, cause like normally that wouldn't be enough to like make like an exodus happen.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately,
that
but
community meme. That's like I can ignore.
yeah,
like,
I can ignore abusing your workers, but I can't ignore disappointing updates. And it's like you can ignore disappointing.
ignore abusing your work.
Literally, yeah. Being someone who is like being like such a diehard like World of Warcraft fan for so far, like literally like since I was 12, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
It's like devastating, but also like unfortunately not surprising because like the industry is so toxic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like I don't play at either of those games, and like I am aware of it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people online because I follow a lot of people who are involved in both communities, and I've seen some people making the good point of like there are people who are like meaning Final Fantasy 14, being like, yeah, our shit's like so much better than World of Warcraft. Like our stuff's like unproblematic. It's like no. Like.
I don't
What
trust
we're not gonna
anyone in the
do-
gaming industry.
Literally, it's like what we're not gonna do is give fucking out like gold star badges to companies that do not deserve it and have not done anything to actually earn that. Do not give them a fucking free pass because you're just gonna continue being disappointed. You can change what game you're playing and what you're doing, like abso-fucking-lutely. But whatever game you are supporting, demand that they respect the people that are making the games.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just sit on your laurels and be like, well, this game hasn't had an expose yet, so obviously it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we gotta, like, fight as a community to make sure that, like, everyone is taken care of.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
Luckily, from, like, everything I've heard, Square Enix is, like, a pretty amazing place to work. For, like, all levels.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's, like, their pay is, like, some of the best in the industry, and, like, their benefits are the best in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, well, and it shows, because, like, they have so many employees, like, so many employees who have been there for, like, 30 years, 25 years, 20 years, like, who aren't in high up positions, like, concept artists who have been there for 25, 30 years. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Just, like, super, like, dedicated employees who are, like, well taken care of and respected.
Yeah.
It's what you want to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes the reason Final Fantasy 14 is so good, in my opinion, is because the team is so fucking passionate about it. And the reason they're so passionate about it is because they can afford to be.
Exactly, and they're like, they feel safe and, like, supported in their workplace. Like,
exactly.
When people are, like, secure and, like,
don't need to worry about
like,
being fucking abused during work.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy that they put out better work.
Shockingly enough, when someone isn't being actively traumatized, they produce better shit.
Who would have known?
Mind-boggling revolution in the gaming industry.
Now
treat people like
I
shit.
saw an interesting article where they kind of were like, everyone wants to support Blizzard workers, but no one really knows how to support Blizzard workers, because, you know, a lot of people took to Twitter when, like, the expose was written and when California started to sue Blizzard, and they were like, just never play a Blizzard game again. And then a bunch of, like, low-level Blizzard employees were like, we've already had insane layoffs. Please don't, like, literally jump ship on everything the company's doing.
Literally, yeah.
I don't want to lose my job.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's something my mom and I have talked about, because, like, my mom is also, like, super into World of Warcraft. She plays every day. Like, she's made her own guild and, like, has this whole thing. Like, she is super involved in the community. She's, like, 51.
Yeah.
No fucks given.
I've never touched a video game.
My mom, both my parents are, like, the biggest nerds you'll ever meet. My mom is a video game nerd, and my dad's a comic book nerd. So
nice.
if there's any, they're very divorced. So don't worry about that. But there's no wonder I turned out as fucking dorky as I did.
Sorry for laughing at your record.
Yeah, I felt weird about laughing about that as soon as I said it.
I laughed, but I was like, oh no.
It's totally fine. It was like fucking 10 years ago. I'm super over it. Don't worry.
It's like when you laugh at Jem's grandfather for the first time. You're like, I don't know, can I do this? And then they encourage you.
And then Jem's like, please do, because that's the reason I tell the joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my mom and I have talked a lot about, like, exactly what you're saying, Dylan. Like, a lot of the people in her guilds have, like, left the game, which I completely understand.
Oh, yeah.
I understand, like, people not wanting to support the platform anymore. But I also, my mom's standpoint is, like, I want to make sure that, like, the workers who are there are, like, able to have, have a paycheck.
Yeah,
and,
it's a really weird situation because, like, I don't necessarily know that, like, on a consumer level, there's a right answer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of one of those things where, like, and I hate to do this kind of thing, but, like, it feels like you gotta kind of rely on California to, like, sue them properly.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
well,
like,
I do know that they've also been sued by one of their, their investors, which is what I think the fact that the investors are suing is going to be what makes actual change.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
The investors have added like a list of demands, like of like the workers' demands in with their shit.
Nice.
Being like, hey, the stuff you've done isn't enough. This is what we want you to do.
The stuff you've done is genuinely fucked up that the billionaires who fund you are like, hey.
Exactly, because they're being like, hey, you should have been transparent about the fact that your company had such a fucking toxic workplace, because this is like bad for business.
Oh, it's a shareholder nightmare.
Oh yeah, so they're being sued by the people who are funding them.
Yeah, of course.
So that's gonna be what like causes
That's
like
gonna be what's
fundamental.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the thing that changes it, which is like depressing that that's what has to happen. But the fact that it is happening is at least something.
Yeah. That's my issue,
So-
though. It's like, you know, people, like, this kind of thing happens, and then people are like, well, okay, I'll just, ignore World of War. And normally, when I hear this kind of thing, it's like people who have never played a Blizzard game, and they're like, I'll just never play, I'll continue to never play a Blizzard game, and then yell at people that do. And it's like, it's not that easy. Like, if you're trying to support the workers who work at Blizzard, how the fuck is never playing a Blizzard game going to help them?
Exactly. Like,
You know,
I know, like,
it's a complicated situation. It can't just be solved by like ignoring it
Exactly.
and being like that's
Like,
the right
for-
thing to do. Like, I don't know.
for me personally, like I'm taking a bit of a break from World of Warcraft. Just
Oh
'cause,
yeah.
like, I don't know. A lot of like I haven't read anything about like the complaint or the details of it, just because it's wildly triggering.
Yeah.
So I've been
Oh,
like
nice.
taking space from the game just so I can like process everything without like tainting
Yeah.
the stuff I've built in the game.
Yeah.
But then I do want to eventually come back to it because I like love the world and it's something that's been so dear to me, and I also like want to see the game get better.
Yeah.
I want to see the people who make the game I love be respected and taken care of.
Yeah.
Here's my unsolicited opinions.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think the World of Warcraft community should do a strike and just have a day where people just don't log on to show people just like, hey, we can take this all away from you
Fun
whenever
fact,
you want.
they already did that.
Oh, cool. Okay. Then
I
more.
think within
Then
24
longer.
hours of it, the news breaking, like that Friday, it did a sit-in followed by a 24-hour logout.
Yeah, keep doing that, I guess.
Yeah, like a lot of, and like people are raising money for like various like organizations that are like and like helping with like union shit.
Mhm.
At least it like because like I follow mostly like the role play side of the community. I don't
Yeah.
fuck with like the rating or anything because I'm not actually good at the game, even though I've been playing for over a decade. Still don't know what I'm doing.
Listen, that's extremely fair though.
Yeah,
Like,
oh god, it's so fucking cool. Like MMORPGs, god, I love them. Do not know how they work.
Yeah.
I like if you put me in a raid, I would kill everyone by accident.
honestly,
Yeah,
like
I
I've done
don't
Final
know
Fantasy
how to fuck.
14 rating, but I also feel like Final Fantasy 14 is like made in a much like simpler and easier to read way.
I was gonna say my sister, my like whole fucking family like are obsessed with World of Warcraft because my sister also and her girlfriend both also played a shit ton, but also played Final Fantasy.
Mhm.
And my sister and I were talking about like the differences in rating, because like rating on World of Warcraft is just like
Oh, it's a very
just,
like
socially
very
it's
like
super
complex
toxic.
and oh yeah, I've heard
even
that.
just socially, it is like disgusting. Like I've tried, like I usually like playing tank characters,
Yeah.
and if I go and try, I've literally never tanked for a raid because I did it once,
Yeah.
and I got called like so many fucking slurs just for like accidentally pulling something a little too quickly.
Yeah.
And like
New gamers.
people like I've had people like even just like in like the general game culture, I've had people just randomly like start issuing me death threats when I like
Yeah.
when they like I'll have people like try and like solicit my character when I'm like no thanks, they're like, I'm gonna fucking like find you and like fuck you. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's your deal, bro?
Yeah, like
But my
literally.
sister, it's like, bro.
Like, come
But,
on,
my sister
dog.
said that, like, in comparison, when she would go and do raiding, especially like when she was first getting into raiding in Final Fantasy, she said it was so welcoming and everyone was super patient.
I-
The only ever
Cannot tell you what the reason is, but for some
Yeah.
reason, the culture of Final Fantasy 14 is like the most untoxic gaming community that I've ever been. And I've been playing games online for like the majority of my life at this point. Yeah. I played the worst of it. Like I played online Halo on Xbox 360.
Oh god.
Where it was like literally it was just like slurs and voice chat and that was it.
Yeah.
So no one used voice chat. And then like I played Call of Duty when I was young. Like I've done everything. And Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I really did a journey where at first all my friends that I knew in like primary school were like, Call of Duty is the coolest game ever, and I was like, okay, I guess. And I would like try to play that, and I didn't really like it, but like this was what they were playing, so I was like, okay, I'll just play it. And then I was like, actually, I like Final Fantasy, and then I found friends who also like Final Fantasy, and I was like, hey, this is great. And then they made an MMO that was really good, and I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, the Final Fantasy 14 community is fucking amazing. It's like, I mean, obviously there's gonna be shitheads. Like I'm absolutely positive there are like some despicable people in there, but
almost certainly.
For the majority of my time, I have like never run into like a bad actor.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Watched one of the Final Fantasy movies.
Oh yeah.
Recently,
Which ones?
but I was pretty high and don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay. That's alright.
Wraith put it on. I can text them. They haven't texted me back.
I would guess, like, was Cloud Strife in one?
Yeah.
So then you watched Advent Children for sure.
Probably.
I hope you watched. I hope you watched like the complete edition, and you're gonna be like, dude, I was super high. It's so much better that it's like you shouldn't ever watch the original. They just all they did was they got rid of the shaky cam. They got rid of the like 90s shaky cam.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we watched.
Nice. And then you might have watched like Spirits Within. It's the only other Final Fantasy movie I can think of.
I'd heard all the characters' names before.
Yep.
But because of the Final Fantasy house.
Mm-hmm.
You guys heard of that?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Oh boy.
Honestly, it's a long and kind of complex story.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with that
okay,
story.
I don't know.
Essentially, like, guy meets people through Final Fantasy roleplay. They get him to move in with them and abuse him.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Oh boy.
While refusing, like being like, we are the characters and doing like.
It was like very kin stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that sounds like the extreme version of like kinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that. It was also like they found everyone on like Kijiji ads as well.
Oh.
It was like it's like every red flag that you as an adult are aware of.
Like a cartoonish amount of red flags.
I think it happened in like 2003 or something.
Yeah, it was around then for sure.
It's a good read if you like, you know. It's not.
Right when I took a drink, I almost spewed my bubbly all over this beautiful microphone.
Oh no.
I know. I almost got pineapple water on my fucking string set. Yeah, I'm drinking some pineapple water. It's really good.
I've never had pineapple water.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it might be a Canadian thing, bubbly.
Hold on one sec.
Because it's like made by Michael Bublé, so I feel like it's Canadian, but I don't know that for sure. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go.
Sorry, I had to answer a phone call.
Oh, you're good. Oh, it is another bot dial?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I got an actual phone call.
Hey! That would have been big shit when you were like 13, but
I know.
now all I want is a letter.
Meg, so.
Hello, sorry, I just had to grab meds quickly.
Very good.
I like how their hats are like sea anemone shit.
Yeah. Little coral crowns.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Telling you, this game's art direction is just like out of control.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Okay, let me go to the journal because I forgot what I'm supposed to do here. The animal lost another water dragon because the lair got near in battle and the dragon. Okay. Okay, you got it.
Incredible reading.
Thank you.
The guinea father reads to us.
I'm reading. That's how I read to the pigs.
I was gonna say
Aww.
story time with Guinea Dad. Man, when I was like a summer camp kid, and I went to a leadership camp.
Yep.
When I was in for like 10 years.
Camp?
That's a great question.
It's like a camp for people that want to either be like camp counselors or like teachers or like babysitters. Like it's like you want to work with kids.
No, not even that. It's like if you take life coach shit and then just sort of entrusted some teenagers and early 20-year-olds to teach that to like preteens.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. I went there for 10 years and my dad was one of the founders of the camp.
That's cool.
It was weird, but what's it called? Oh wait, why did I bring this up? I had a reason. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
We talked about the game's art direction, reading to the pigs.
Oh, reading to the pigs. That's what it was.
Got it.
One of my favorite traditions was every night at the end of the day, like we would all like have evening program where the whole camp would come back together and do like a fun activity.
Yeah.
And every night before bed, one of the staff members, usually a senior staff member, would like read a storybook to the whole camp.
Mm.
And it was like the best shit. Would read like just like kids picture books, but like everyone would be like super invested in it. It was just like nice to have like a story read to you while you eat like watermelon slices or some shit. It was just like super wholesome and fun.
I do love that.
Yeah.
I remember in grade
We got a bot.
oh
Spam bot, we got a bot.
oh, I thought that said Naruto as his username. If it did, maybe I wouldn't have freaking banned him. Ban!
Come on, bot.
He's been banned, dude.
He's been yoked.
You listen, you might think that only the mods know how to use their blades, but bots beware. I'll come for you, dude.
I'll cut you like a battle bot.
You better be a battle bot.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna learn if you're not.
Close.
I could make so many good jokes if you'd seen battle bots, Dylan.
I bet you could. You could still make them if you wanted.
Yeah. It's not
This
the
is
same.
Okay.
the saddest, yeah.
Yeah.
I could.
Okay, wait a second. I really thought we were supposed to get swallowed by the dragon, but then it's like into the dragon, and I'm like, okay. And then they're like, no, not like that.
Do you have the amulet?
I have the amulet. They gave it to me, I think.
Are you wearing the amulet?
I don't think you can. Wait, actually, that's a good. No, you can't. That was a good point, though. No, that was a very good point. Because that's.
Like, I've definitely had that happen to me where I was like supposed to equip it,
Mhm.
and I just didn't realize. I spent an hour running around being like, why can't I do this?
Yeah, no, I've definitely been there in a video game before. They're like, hey, go
Dude,
put
I
on this
remember-
shirt. And I'm like, okay, and these shirts in my inventory. And I'm like, wow, why won't it work?
Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Literally. I remember, I have such a vivid memory of like when Wrath of the Lich King first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I played it like so much when it first came out. I played it for like hours on end, working on my Death Knight, which was the new class for the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And like for that class, you have your own starting area just for the class, and you have it like a mini storyline you have to complete in order to like go on and like be able to go out in the rest of the worlds and play.
Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't realize that like you had to finish the storyline, because usually like you would be able to just like leave.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, well, I don't feel like doing the storyline right now, but I really want to go to Darnassus.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go to Darnassus. And so I went to the, try to leave, and there was like an invisible wall. And I was like, I don't know, like maybe 14 or 15.
Yeah.
But I remember it freaking me out so much that I literally had a nightmare that night that the Lich King had trapped me in my room and wouldn't let me leave.
Oh.
Wow, that's
so
crazy.
I was like so freaked out and worried. I was like, oh my god.
That
he's,
invisible
like,
wall was
gonna
just
make me
living in
do
your head,
bad
eh?
shit. Yeah, it.
Oh, here we are.
Rent free in my brain. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's the wild dragon. This is how they feed him.
Ooh.
And we gotta get in his tummy so we can get that dragon orb. Whee!
Slip and slide.
Inside the dragon.
Vor, baby.
Yeah,
How many furries do you think this made?
Honestly, not a lot, because this is basically just Pinocchio Light.
Yeah, but it's a dog and it's Vor. That's pretty furry.
That is true. God, I hate that I'm considering this.
I feel like everyone I know who's ever been into Vor is a furry.
Oh yeah.
I am happy to say that I don't know anyone that's into Vor. I also don't think I know a furry and like I've ever met a furry. Like someone who is a furry. It feels weird to say a furry. Like it's like it almost feels derogatory to say it like that. But like just like someone who is a furry.
Yeah.
I've never, I know a couple people like.
They walk among us.
I know a couple people like that I follow on Twitter who are furries. Like there's one of the biggest fighting game players of the world is a gay furry.
Sonic Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Sonic Fox. He is the best.
They're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
They, yeah.
I was gonna say, is it they them or is it they?
I think it's they them.
They
No,
them.
no, you're definitely right.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I had it right in my head. That's all.
No, for sure.
These little statue guys.
I want them and Lil Nas X to laugh. I don't know on what.
Dude, I could see
my
it.
God.
But
I don't know, like.
Sonic Fox is really cool though because they when the Smash community had its big like uprising basically where like everyone who had been abused in the Smash community was like we're gonna out all of our like abusers like today, and it was like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Tons of players got outed. It was like a crazy, like people were like in shock and disbelief because they had no idea. And one guy who is a player named Dark Wizzy was living with a guy who was outed as an abuser at the time.
Oh shit.
And so Sonic Fox literally was like, just move in with me.
Oh wow.
And so like he came,
Super
picked him up,
considerate.
moved him to his house, and they've been living together for like, I don't know, like 24 months at this point.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they just seem like a really great person.
Yeah, they seem very sweet.
Also extremely good at video games.
oh yeah.
Like unbelievably good.
The best of the best.
Like every game they pick up, they are good at. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, that is not me.
Cannot relate.
Yep. Takes me quite a while. I mean, I'm good
Very
at.
bad video.
I'm really good at like getting good at a video game. Like I'm a good learner. But I'm not good at like even when there's like transferable skills between games. I kind of feel like every game I play, I have to like restart from zero.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like firmly considered myself good at any game.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not overly skilled at them. I love them to death and they're super fun to play, but I usually don't play them how I'm supposed to.
I
That's
feel the
fair.
same way, except for I am good at The Sims. That is the one game
Nice.
I'm very good at.
Dude,
I'm
I
actually
cannot fucking play The Sims.
extremely bad at The Sims.
Same, Dylan. I literally cannot play The Sims.
Dude, I can
Love it.
barely keep a schedule as a person myself. Trying to keep a schedule for a family of 3, I'm like, dude, good luck.
Really funny because I am terrible with time management, but I love time management games.
That is
My favorite
funny.
thing is like, Isaac fucking loves The Sims and plays The Sims all the time, and it's like one of his favorite games. And so I get to just sit and like watch him play for hours. That's been like our thing we've been doing recently, where like he'll wake up in the morning and like he'll come out and we'll have lunch, and then we'll just like
Play The Sims.
he'll play The Sims and I will watch him play The Sims, and that's
Amazing.
our date. It's
so fun.
so much fun. And then like while we're playing The Sims, we'll just talk about our like D&D characters, and that's it. It's so dating someone who has the same kind of like brain rot as you is like unparalleled.
It's pretty good.
Like we get to
there
share
we
our
are.
brain fungus.
Liam's
Welcome back, Liam.
Oh, welcome back. Oh, 1 second here. Alright, I saved you guys the dad
Bless
sneeze.
you.
You would not believe. Hi, Jem. You would not believe. Since the pigs, my sneezes have
How
been
are you
becoming
today?
full body experiences.
I was gonna say I saw the like recoil of that
it's,
like go
it's,
through your body.
it's significant. It's like a significant effect it has.
I
Ooh.
know that like I can relate to the guinea pigs making you sneeze, because I didn't realize until like after I had gotten them that I was like allergic to guinea pigs.
Yep.
And like they lived in my room when I was a kid and when I had them, so I was just like couldn't breathe at night, but I didn't care because I loved them.
Oh, I feel another one coming, but it's like right on the will it or won't it, you know?
Where's that Target?
Target, Jim.
How are the people of Target? What are they up to?
How are the denizens of Target?
Yeah.
Houston Target. I'm thinking they're doing all right. Getting some savings.
I do have to say, when I first read Jem's message, I thought it said, "I'm the Target."
I'm the
like, oh, no.
Target.
I was like, "Of what? Are you okay? Is this a cry for help? Do I
Should
need to get to Houston?
yeah? Does someone need to come and pick you up?
Like, do we need to like send someone?" They're right. That's good. As long as it's not like terrible. That's
Oh,
all you
boy.
can really ask for.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever been in a Target maybe twice.
Oh, really?
There was one in like my town for a very brief period of time, and then it shut down. Had a weird work day, so I'm treating myself to stuff. And yes, please come pick me up. Well, I'm sorry you had a weird work day. Definitely treat yourself, and like, I don't know. We're here to bring some good vibes and
Yeah.
chill thoughts. So we can like mentally come and pick you up, even if we can't do it physically.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now. We gotta make the digestive fluid digest the thing that's blocking the buddy's like
Ooh.
windpipe or whatever. There she blows.
This reminds me of oh god, what was that freaking show called? Shaolin Showdown?
Yeah.
Did you ever have the video game?
No. What was it for?
I think it was for PS2. It
Oh.
was either PS2 or PS1, but
I
I was
could have got. It was definitely for PS2, but yeah.
I played it through multiple times. Like I would
I'm so
play it through
jealous.
fucking constantly. And there was a level where you were inside of, I forget the name of the dragon, but there was an episode where you were like going through his insides kind of like this.
Mm.
Because like when you were dissolving the weird meat ball thing,
The meatball, yeah.
I was like, oh, this feels like familiar but from a different game.
That's so funny.
So I feel like it's probably like, I don't know the timelines of which one came first. I imagine this one probably came first and then the Shaolin Showdown one, but like
It was
I could
probably,
see some
honestly,
inspiration.
it was probably close because this game also was on
I'm
PS2.
gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up Okami.
I think the release date for Okami, if I remember correctly, is 2005 or 2006.
April 20th, 2006.
Yeah.
Is Okami, and then... Oh god, how do I spell Shaolin?
Xiaolin.
Thank you.
No problem.
I was like, I knew it began with an XI, but I didn't know the rest of the letters. I was like, no, wait, please.
One of my early favorite games.
Ooh.
Oh, what was it?
Sorry, I just found it. The video game was released in November 2006. So they were.
So yeah,
the
I
same
mean,
year.
yeah, I doubt it was like taking anything from Okami. I mean, it's a little too close.
I didn't think it was like taking. I think it might have just been like inspiration, but they were so close that like I think it was just great minds think alike sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's cool though. I missed that game though. Oh my god, you could like unlock different outfits for all of the like.
I love unlockable
all
outfits.
of the characters, and like I had like there was one where like you could get like robot versions of everyone.
Yeah.
And like oh, it was so much fun.
Yo, where's Jay? Robot versions? Are you kidding me?
I was like, we need Jay in the chat.
I actually do know where Jay is, and he's working.
That's fair.
Poor Jay. Heart goes out to them.
Yeah. These aren't spirits. That weird color can only mean one thing. Foxfire. So this is kind of setting up the next major antagonist.
This is like Matrix shit.
This game is so fucking funny, man.
Ooh.
Little bandit.
I love how the monsters like move in this. Like
they're so like
fluid.
funky, yeah. I love like even like their hit stun animation where they do like a backflip and like land on their tummy. It's so like cartoony and fun.
I was gonna say it's very like floppy in an interesting way, but it's like floppy in like a controlled way.
Also, these enemies can
sense.
drain your ink.
Oh,
So they can like steal your divinity, because that was a thing that like foxes were said to be capable of in Japanese folklore.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a really interesting like mechanic, because basically like you always fight them in groups and you have to kind of watch each one because of that.
Yeah. It like turns it into like almost like a resource management fight.
Yeah, where you like you want to use your brush techniques because they don't have any armor either. But then you're like, if I lose all my ink, then I become a normal wolf for 15 seconds, and it's like, while that's not like the biggest deal, it's like, as a normal wolf, you can't really deal any damage, and like, there's 3 of them. You don't have your dodge, you don't have like any of your like tactics. So
yeah,
this game, I would never describe this game as hard, but it does make you make a lot of interesting decisions, which I like.
Yeah. It makes you be creative about it.
Yeah. I wonder if this is fire. It's not fire.
I always love. I feel like we talked about this when you were playing Breath of the Wild, but I always love when a game is able to give you a set of parameters and then like give you a whole bunch of different ways to like approach it.
It's part of the fun for me, at least, in like a Fire Emblem game, is it's like you have all these characters. They start out with like, you know, roughly bad stats. And like a bad class with like no abilities and stuff, and you kind of have to like play with the hand that you're dealt, because they could die, they could get bad like level ups, so that maybe you don't want to use them anymore. I'm gonna become a normal wolf. Sad. But yeah, it's like the same thing I like about Nuzlocke. Like Pokemon Nuzlocke, is that like you have to deal with the hand that you've been dealt with the Pokemon that you find, instead of like just trying to find like the most powerful one, which I always think is like an interesting. Like I get that like some people are like, I just want to play with my favorite Pokemon, and I'm normally like that, but like I've played all the Pokemon games enough times where I'm just like, it's more interesting to me to like be forced to play with certain ones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, giving yourself little like self-imposed challenges like that is super fun.
Oh yeah.
I know, like I had started a playthrough of Breath of the Wild, and then I ended up deleting it because I wanted to restart it. I wanted to download hard mode DLC.
The master
Just
mode,
'cause,
yeah.
like, yeah, master mode, because I want to do that. Plus, I was like, gave myself the challenge to never like teleport and just like walk everywhere,
That's fun.
which is like a fun. It's like not a real big challenge, but it just is like super fun to like, I don't know, like figure out routes to stuff and like planning out like where I want to go and how I want to travel and like stuff like that. It was just fun.
Yeah.
There's a because we haven't like been super involved with the story, I want to give away a kind of a spoiler that's coming up. So there's this like priestess that's been helping Amaterasu and Isun. Isun affectionately calls her the busty babe because she's got a lot of cleavage going on. But it's funny because when you first play the game, or especially if you play the game like as an adult, you're like, this is kind of like whack that this is in the game. But then it turns out that she is a kitsune, and she's a shapeshifter that is trying to seduce Amaterasu, notable bisexual goddess Amaterasu, and that's the reason she has like this like unique priestess outfit from all the other priestesses that you meet in the game. That's like low cut, and it's very funny because it's like they're obviously very much doing it on purpose. With like an intent to make you go like, ah, yeah, that's just like that random girl with the boobs. But then it's like, no, she's trying to kill you.
Like she's like there's. Just,
she's
like,
playing the long
separate
con.
motives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because the character designer, you guys might know who this is, but maybe not by name. But do you know who Ikumi Nakamura is?
His name sounds familiar.
She is a character designer for Clover Studios and a bunch of other Capcom projects. Clover Studios made this game, and she's very notable because at one of the E3s she gave like a very awkward but fun and like very cute presentation. And where she kind of like fumbled over the script that she was given, but like in a relatable way.
Yeah.
And so she did the character design for this game. And, you know, it's very funny because when they've done, like, interviews and stuff about the game and they're like, oh, like, don't you think this is a little much for, like, a kid's game? She's the one who's like, no, I don't, actually. I don't think cleavage is too much.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I agree. So anyway, we found out the dragon orb was actually the heart of the dragon.
Oh shit.
The dragon died.
That's sad.
It is sad. And this is him right here. I also love that everyone who knows who Ami is addresses her as Amaterasu, origin of all that is good and mother to us all. And then people that don't know who Amaterasu is are like, hey, dog.
Literally.
It's such a funny, like...
The wide range of reverence.
Yeah, exactly. King of the Dragonians. Wada.
So excited. I finally ordered myself a new sketchbook because I've been like almost out of a sketchbook for like several weeks now, and I've been like trying to like save it, which means I just haven't been drawing in my sketchbook.
Yeah.
And so I'm so excited to have a new one, and then I'm also buying myself some new Micron pens so I can actually do some nice like ink drawings.
That's sick.
Yeah, because I have these fun like little markers that I love doing like studies of, like life drawings with. But they look even better with like pen over top, but my pen died a couple weeks ago. I was just like, no! All of my drawing stuff is breaking at the same
I will also say, by the way, that today we're going to have to end at 9 just because I have a weird dinner situation for today. We have no food, so I can't make food.
No, that's totally fine.
So I got to order food, and I want to order food from restaurants that close at 9:30. That's the whole
Yeah,
reason.
no worries. Yeah, Jem, I'm super excited. Should I, like, post some of the sketches from my sketchbook on my Twitter?
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that. I haven't done that in a long time.
You should,
I have a whole bunch
I mean,
of
I don't know if you have
Twitter.
access to, like, a scanner, but you should try and get them scanned.
I do not have access to a scanner right now, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd love to.
Do you have access to a
'Cause, like,
Staples by any chance?
I do have a Staples. I'd have to, like, either get a ride there or, like, bus there.
Yeah. That's fair.
But, yeah.
I mean, still, a picture will do.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
like, it'd be
Like,
sick to get a scanned
oh,
version
yeah,
of the sketches.
absolutely. I would love to get a nice scanner someday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've got a bunch of, I started a new D&D game recently.
I did
So I've
too.
got, like, a lot of world building stuff I've been, like, working on, and, like, drawing through my ideas is, like, the easiest way for me to, like, world build. So I'm very excited to be able to, like, properly do that again.
Yeah, I love to hear it. Jem, Julian, and I also just started a new campaign recently.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Got
Yeah.
did the session 0 on Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's a lot of fun so far. I'm excited. The group's got a
Starting
good
games.
dynamic.
Starting new games is always so exciting. I know the one I just started, we had our 3rd session on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
so we're still really fresh into it. I'm, like, really proud of the world building for this campaign so far. Like, the base premise is
Julian's kind
very exciting.
Sorry, I was sitting away from my computer.
No, you're good. I'm just gonna turn you off just in case.
Okay.
The people gotta hear you.
Do they? Do they now?
Listen, you're the main attraction.
Yeah, I wish.
I always love hearing your thoughts, Julian.
Oh, thank you, Andy.
Of course. Oh man. I have this, like, one scene I had play out in the most recent session of just, like, one of my players, because, like, all of my players are, like, in university, like, their characters are, not the players.
Mhm.
And so the one player wanted their character to have, like, a close mentor.
Okay.
And their, like, degree is, like, a specialization in, like, glass art.
Oh,
They want to
interesting.
do, like, glass blowing and stuff, and I was like, alright, let's do it. And so I made her, like, professor be this, like, old soft-shelled turtle
Oh, amazing.
named Margaret, and, like, she has, like, her office has, like, a big, like, stained glass window, and, like, I had it as this little detail that, like, every first-year class in glassmaking, their first project is making a set of beads, and this professor keeps one of every bead from every first year she teaches.
No, that's so
And
cute.
And then, like, for that project's done, she replaces the bead curtain on her office to be of all the beads of the first years of that year.
Mm.
And then she has big, like, glasses chains, and which are also filled with student beads of her favorite students, though she wouldn't admit that they were her favorites. And I had it as, like, the detail that, like, the player's character, like, her bead is, like, prominently on, like, the glasses. And, like, when I said that to, like, my player, she was like, oh, God, no! It was so cute.
That's so cute.
I love this fucking turtle so much, I would die for her.
Margaret.
Margaret Dafford. A
Amazing.
sweet old lady.
In the new campaign, I'm playing an awoken cat finally. I've wanted to
fucking
forever.
Oh my god.
And his name's Wednesday.
Yes.
And Wednesday was a real human being at one point. He was a knight.
Ooh.
He was a man who lived in. I don't really care if Jem and Julian know some of the backstory because I don't know all my backstory either.
Yeah.
But basically, he was like a knight in this small desert community. Like he wasn't like a crazy powerful figure or anything. He was just kind of like basically a guard.
Like a guy.
Yeah, he had a husband and a son. And like for all intents and purposes, from what I know, life was generally pretty good. But I've also been told that I don't remember the whole story. But this is what Wednesday remembers. And one day he touched like a cursed artifact, and it turned him into a cat.
Oh, shit.
Like fully true polymorphed him into a cat. And eventually, after a year of just being a cat, he happened upon a genie's ring, and the genie cast Awaken on him.
Ooh.
And so now he is trying to true polymorph back into a person.
That's so fun.
Yeah, but he obviously he's a warlock. He's a genie warlock.
I love that.
He has a
That's
ring on
super fun.
his genie's ring is on his tail.
Ooh.
He's got like a little circlet that we just got like basically our first like mission is that we're bodyguards to this famous like drow jeweler. And he gave everyone like basically like a communication earring, like the crit roll one kind of, but like
cute.
different pieces of jewelry. Like one person got an earring, I got a circlet, another person got.
Yeah.
What did Spaghetti Western your character get, Julian?
Spaghetti.
A wallet chain.
So I'm playing a grung rogue named Spaghetti Western.
That's fucking incredible. Spaghetti
so
Western
good.
is the best name for D&D character I've ever fucking heard. What the
So
fuck?
happy that, like, yeah, that's fine. It's not his real name, but
It's an
I haven't
alias.
figured out what his real name
I
is.
still think his real name should be another genre,
It should. I was either that or like
murder mystery,
something
film
incredibly
noir,
Oh,
something
that'd be
like
funny.
that.
Oh, I was
Or
just thinking like,
Philly Eastern.
well, my first thought was like taco romance.
That's funny.
And
Basically, he faked his own death to
Ooh.
get away from the mob, and he's
Oh,
on
I
the run with
fucking
Gem's
love
character, who, through my fake death, they were my partner in the mob, who, like, quote unquote found religion and used that to get out of the mob.
Oh my god.
And yeah, and I'm just a no good, dirty, rotten.
That's fucking incredible.
I love
I,
Spaghetti Western so much.
It's my first time playing D&D, and I'm having a great time.
Fuck yeah. That's so fucking wonderful. Do you guys want to hear about my DM PC in the new game?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I'm also playing a warlock.
Mhm.
So we've got Ludwig Beck, who is a gnome, and he is currently possessed by an archfey, a la like Venom vibes. And this archfey was a general in a war, but disappeared 5 years before the war led to the Prime Material Plane and the Feywild becoming fused, because the mages on both sides of the war pulled the two planes out of alignment, and then they just sort of like crashed into each other and are now like fused together, which, you know, was a little apocalyptic, but it's fine. But this fucking like little just weird praying mantis guy just was missing for that whole time. I'm choosing my words carefully because like Isaac's in the room and I don't want to spoil shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Vic accidentally got infected with this boffishly gay and slightly murderous praying mantis guy, and now he's just sort of stuck with him.
It reminds me a lot of I ran a D&D game before COVID at like a home game for M. You see my confusion. Liam, James, and our friend Kieran. And unfortunately, that game has kind of fallen by the wayside. I think if we start playing it again, I might either like reboot it or do something different with it or something like that.
Yeah.
But originally, I was kind of leading them to James was playing a Archfey Warlock as well. And the way that James made his character is he was a blacksmith.
Ooh.
And one day he was possessed by these two Archfey, and they created these incredible weapons
cool.
together as this like union and pact. And then, he was framed for crimes, and the Empire was investigating him because it's so weird that this random blacksmith was suddenly turning out like incredible work. The game was very like guilds were very important. Mercantile stuff was very important. Crafting, I made like a whole crafting system because James wanted to play a blacksmith. And so anyway, he had one hand that had like wooden rings on it, and another hand that had iron rings on it. And so like if he was making something with the iron ring hand, the Archfey couldn't help because it's iron.
Okay.
But his Archfey were twin brothers who were both princes of the Feywild. They were the princes of, I believe it was unicorns and anarchy.
What a fucking combination.
Yeah, they were my favorite to play. They basically just talked like Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
They'd be like, Gammon boy, like that kind of thing. And it was just so fucking fun.
Like, kind of how I'm approaching the Archfey for my Warlock. He's just like, very like queer and overly confident.
I don't know how you could like possibly try to roleplay an Archfey and not have them be queer. Like,
literally, the idea of a heterosexual Archfey kind of
it's a little repulsive. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I feel like it might give me hives a little.
And like, I'm not saying that you can't have like Titania and Oberyn in a relationship, but they're both bi.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely, like, every single Archfey is at least bisexual.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh
like,
god, the camera change.
Yeah.
No, we're on the same page for that one for sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
But anyway, yeah, I'm excited to see. I know nothing about the genie, so I'm really excited to see how Bryn goes with that. He's a Dao, so he's an Earth genie.
Ooh.
And I'm really excited because I figured for the desert I was either gonna go wind or Earth. I didn't end up going with Earth. I just thought Earth was kind of cool.
Yeah, Earth is definitely.
Because you never see Earth genies.
No, I was gonna
like
say,
you get fire and wind a lot.
Before. Yeah, that's a fun flavor to play with.
Mm-hmm. So in my head he's like a little sandstorm, but I don't know. We'll see.
I love that.
We'll see when we see.
That reminds me of, I have this like awakened dog character I made like fucking forever ago as a backup for Dell, actually. That like I want to play someday, but I don't know when I'm gonna get the opportunity.
That was Wednesday for me. It was always a backup character.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what my current Archfey Warlock was also like permanent Darude Sandstorm gem, I swear. Oh my god.
I just know that Bryn's gonna like start playing Darude Sandstorm the first time I meet the game. I'm gonna be like, not like this.
But my awakened dog is a death cleric.
Oh my god.
Like a grave cleric.
Yeah.
They are a black borzoi.
Okay.
And they were the guard dog for an elderly caretaker for a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Who worshipped like a death, like a deity of death, and I hadn't known which one it would be just because I didn't know what campaign I was in. But some sort of death god. See you, Jim.
Bye, Jim.
Hi, Jen. Love you.
And so, like, one day, it was like my character. I think I named them Rin.
Mm-hmm.
And then another dog, and they were like the guard dogs and like companion dogs to this like really old gnome. And then one day, these guys come and try and rob the cemetery and like do some grave robbing, and in the process, they attack and kill the owner.
Oh no.
And the other dog, and Rin gets badly hurt. But the deity that the gnome worshipped is like, all right, I'm gonna awaken you. You need to go hunt down those motherfuckers and get the shit that they stole back.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna have it so this dog is on a mission to like avenge their owner's death, as well as like on like a divine mission for a god of death, and like
That's pretty
was sort
cool.
of basing it off of like a black dog, sort of death dog omen in like British folklore.
Yeah, yeah.
So like a Grimm or something like that. So someday I'd love to play it, but for now, probably I might make them an NPC sometime soon. I always end up doing that with my characters. I'm just like, all right, you get to live in the NPC bucket for now.
I do that a lot too. No, I have done a lot of similar thinking about. I've really wanted to play a fighter for a long time.
Yeah, fighters are super fun.
James put it really well the other day when we were talking about it, but he basically said like fighters are interesting because they're kind of like you only really get whatever you put into them, because there's not like a lot of like flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
To play with, which I there's ways you can look at it. I mean, like I know that D&D has its shortcomings, but I actually find the blank slate to be like a very interesting proposition.
Oh yeah.
Because
absolutely.
it's like, you can do like I recently played a fighter in like as a guest character in someone's campaign, in Fran's campaign. And in that campaign I was playing a gunslinger, and the character was inspired by one of my favorite anime, Samurai Champloo, where basically the main plot of the of Samurai Champloo is that a young girl hires two samurai because she's trying to find her father. But all she knows about her dad is that he is a samurai who smells like sunflowers.
Okay.
And that's the only thing she knows about him.
All right.
And so, same thing with my character. The dad was like a famous sword user who smelled like, I think it was either, I might have changed the plant. It might have been like daffodils or something.
Yeah.
But regardless, who smelled like a flower, and in the session we found him.
Oh wow.
And the whole party was like, okay, like we'll give you your moment so you can like reconnect with your dad, and she like didn't say anything to him other than like find out like who he is and that kind of thing. And they were like so upset by it, and I was just like, it like the moment for like the character in my head, the way it had been built up and like how they ended up meeting her dad, it's like I don't think like the pressure was too much. Like I think she just like couldn't bring herself to be like, I'm your daughter, because like he never really had a relationship with her mother, was the thing. They slept together once. She ended up having a child.
Yeah, like just a one night stand sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like medieval ages. They were both very good at what they did. Like her mother was an artist. But it was a really fun like interaction, because the whole party was just like so like upset, but also I feel like they learned a lot in that moment, where they were like, damn, I guess not everything's gonna just have like a neat resolution.
Yeah, like sometimes things don't get a nice bow on the end, and are just messy and complicated. And I love that.
I'm excited to eventually come back, because the door's open for that. So I'm excited to see like where that character is gonna go.
Yeah, that's super fun.
It's very weird. The energy of being a guest character is very strange, because it's like you're only there for like 1 or 2 sessions. So like it's a weird, like you're not trying to like overstay your welcome or like overshadow people, but you're also trying to like make a lasting memory. It was very fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's super fun. I've never gotten to like be a guest character in anyone's campaign before, but like it sounds super fun.
It was definitely a bit intimidating because I hadn't met most of the players.
Yeah.
I'd only met M, who was playing.
Yeah.
Obviously I've met M, but like they were the only one I knew prior to, but they were all very nice, so it was great.
That's good.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really good time. I don't know why I'm saying it like I'm like, you should go all guest in Fran's campaign. I'm sure that's not like. We talked to Fran about that. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But no, it was, Fran did a great job of like setting the stage, and it was good. It was a good time.
I'm glad it was fun.
I also just like playing a gunslinger. We even had like a western town that we were like in, and there was like zombies and shit.
Ooh.
It was a good time.
That's super fun.
And that character was a blast to play because she was such a like the party that I jumped in on is very much like in the kind of like vibe of like we're just a bunch of guys, we don't know what we're doing, like, you know, we're just trying to do our best and like do right by the people around us. But my character was very much like she had her shit together. She was like a warrior.
Yeah.
And so like the party dynamic was very funny while it was a thing, because they were just like, what the fuck, are we like the side characters in her story? I was like, no.
Yeah,
but
literally.
it was very fun to like play around with that energy. Yeah. She was great though. She had like bells on her coat so that people could hear her coming, so that she never got like the upper hand just by like sneaking up on someone.
Oh, I love that.
She didn't believe in that, so I had disadvantage on stealth checks, which was a problem for a bit, but it ended up being alright.
That's so fun though. I love the like narrative of that.
Yeah, I was just trying to think like I was just trying to think of it in a way of like what would someone do if they weren't a legendary fighter but they wanted to be?
Yeah.
Like they could be maybe one day, but you know, she's not there yet.
But it's like getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love shit like that. It's just like giving yourself self-imposed like challenges is super fun.
Yeah.
Like in another game I'm in the one that Isaac is DMing, my character is currently going through probably the worst day of their life.
Oh no.
Because they had gotten a text from their estranged mother whom they have not seen for 13 years after they went missing as a child, where they lost a year worth of memory.
Oh man.
And so their mom had texted them out of the blue because they had been like 2 weeks prior they had been goaded into going onto the news because they had helped like stop a little like demon attack, and then like suddenly the news was there and like shoving cameras in people's faces, and because they were on the news, their parents saw they were there after being missing for 13 years and managed to like get in contact with them. We're like, hey, we're gonna be in town next week, we should hang out. And my character's like, I do not want to see either of you. You're so scary. And so my character, like, part of like the way it's like modern setting, and part of like the core of like the world is like interplanar travel is like a relatively accessible thing if you have money. And so part of like the work my character is doing for like this organization, they have a amulet of planar travel, so you can just like hop back and forth between planes as you want. And so they were trying to like run away to the Feywild for a bit, and they like stopped back at home and were like, hey, like went to the roommate and were like, I'm moving out, thanks for the time, I will pay this last month's rent, but I am moving out. And then they tried to run away to the Feywild, but their amulet broke and like glitched. And I forgot to mention, my character is an Astamar who has a lot of religious trauma. And when the amulet glitched, instead of sending them to the Feywild, it sent them to heaven. And my character is now in the midst of one of the most severe panic attacks I've ever had.
I believe it.
I'm just like, I was talking with Isaac about how like next session, like I'm planning on like rolling almost like fear checks at disadvantage, because my character, like, I don't know, like they're just so like in like the literally like the worst case scenario for them. So I'm just like, there's a chance that they're just gonna like pass out and just like faint because they're so scared.
Yeah, understandably.
So I just like, sorry, that was a very long-winded way to
no
self-imposed challenges like that.
I'm here for it. I've been thinking recently about so I watched Fantasy High recently, Dimension 20's Fantasy High.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about doing a modern D&D setting campaign that's like not super super long, but is also like mid-length, I would say.
Yeah.
And basically the concept in my head was like everyone would be related to this very, very, very wealthy family. So you'd either all be relatives or like a brother or sister-in-law.
Yeah, like in-laws at the very least.
Yeah, and like basically no one has seen like most of the family for a very long time. They're all on bad terms, but they're also like extremely affluent and wealthy.
Yeah.
And one day all of them got a call for like a dinner party that they have to go to.
Yeah.
Anyone that doesn't show up gets written out of the inheritance kind of thing.
Oh shit, okay.
And what's gonna happen? Who knows, right? That's the mystery.
That's like the hook.
That's the hook.
I love that though.
We'll see. Like, you know, I've been thinking about doing it with like just a mix of people from like different groups, basically like just people who have been like chilling on stream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you know everybody's starting to get to know each other at this point, so it's
Exactly. Yeah.
why not cross those streams?
I was gonna say we've crossed the friendship streams, and now everyone just sort of is chill.
Exactly.
Great.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, modern settings are super fun to play around with.
There's a lot of like interesting questions you can answer and stuff about like the world and that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
That's what
Like originally I was very like, I don't really see it, but like after watching Fantasy High, I'm like, actually it seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah. The game I just started is like my first like true modern setting one that I've ever run, and it's super fun so far. It's like a real interesting challenge, but I'm loving it.
No,
It's also, like,
it is for sure like
most-
a interesting kind of challenge to do. Sorry. I interrupted.
Oh yeah, and like figuring out how like technology and magic interact, and like the opinions of both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about like how the transit system works in my city that I've like designed, and also like one thing I sort of like decided last session is that there like the city has a like big focus on like accessible transit, just because I don't know, I want it to have accessible transit.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff to encourage people riding bikes everywhere, including bike racks that magically lock. So only the person who put them in the bike rack can take them back out to prevent like people from stealing it. So you just sort of park your bike in this little slot, and then you can just walk away and know you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that's just always super fun.
Yeah, no, I've been interested in the premise for a long time because, like, I was in a RP for that premise a really long time ago, but it was the opposite, where it was like basically you'd think it was like a modern premise, but it was fantasy.
Okay.
And so it was like a noble house instead of like just like random rich people, and like it was like the family reunion happened, and like there was like a magical contract that had been sealed at some point. It was a really interesting concept, and I was like, oh, I could actually do that for modern D&D like really easily.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people started getting friendly with each other over here, and I was like, you know, maybe there's a lot of people who want to play more TTRPGs, and I don't really run a D&D campaign anymore, so you know, I can see it. Yeah, I could see it. Oh gosh. You gotta do that fight quick. Okay. You gonna drop me? No.
Sorry.
You're good. Okay.
Is this like a timed fight?
This is a time. Yeah. So you see this little slip of paper that's moving?
Yeah.
I have to beat him to the door.
okay. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure I was.
No, you're
actually,
good.
Like,
You're reading that right.
absorbing what was happening.
Yep. Yeah, we've been racing him a little bit, and basically the idea is just like he's like this evil slip of paper.
Yeah.
And he just loves to race people.
I love that for him.
Yeah, he's having a blast. You know it's bad when they have an explanation sign right beside the thing. How to play.
Yeah.
You'll be badly injured if you get hit by one. An impact to these statues could cause a momentary malfunction. The hell path is for everyone. Please take turns when enjoying the ride.
Oh my god.
I kind of do wonder though, like, could I not just like, okay, there's bamboo spikes that are gonna make me mad? Okay. Oh no!
Oof.
Wait, what is this? Oh shit.
It's death.
Yeah, apparently. It's I will say, like all PS2 games with platforming aspects, sometimes it can be a little finicky. Okay. Maybe I gotta hit all the buttons or something.
I definitely remember, like, I used to be really into playing Sonic Heroes on my PS2.
Oh my god, Andy,
and
me
my
too.
God, love that game, but
What a
the
fucking
platforming did not want to work. It
no,
was
that game's platforming was so broken, dude. Sometimes you just like break the game trying to jump, and you're like, oh no.
It's like notoriously bad.
Yeah.
Especially isn't the PS2 port like one of the most unstable ports of that game?
Yeah. The lasers.
God, I loved it though.
Oh, I could not believe how much I enjoyed that game.
I think I only ever played the like I think it's like is it what whatever the team was with Big the Cat.
Team Rose?
Yeah, I think that was it. I wanted to say Team Cream, but I knew Cream was the name of one of the things, and the idea of them calling it Team Cream made me really upset. So I was hoping
I'm pretty sure it's not called Team Cream, because they're looking for Cream's frog, right? That's their storyline.
Not Cream's frog.
Or is it?
Big's frog.
It's Big's
and
frog.
then Cream's
Right.
chocobo.
Oh, the Chow.
Chow, that's what it is.
The Chocobo's Final Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, I got the fucking feet cute thing mixed up in my head.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
any opportunity to talk about Chocobos is a good opportunity for me.
Honestly, yeah. I was so obsessed with that game though.
No mood.
I like miss PS2 era games so much.
They were fun games.
Yeah, it was a good era.
PS2 is definitely in my top 3 consoles of all time.
I still have my copy of the Neopets and the Darkest Fairy.
Amazing.
PS2 game. I was so obsessed with that game when I was a kid. Like, me and my sister used to play it fucking constantly. It was so much fun. Super glitchy. There was a certain point where you just couldn't progress because it just would stop giving you notifications of what to do. But like, oh god, it was so much fun. That
so
and
good.
Sims 2 Castaway. Also,
I love the Sims 2. I never played the PS2 ones though.
oh, we played Sims 2 Castaway so much that it broke. Like,
Wow.
it stopped. It went on a loading screen one day, and it stayed on the loading screen for 12 hours.
Oh no.
We timed it, and nothing changed.
Do you think it's done loading at 13? Like, can you imagine if at hour 13 it's just like, okay, I'm good.
We got this.
I'm back.
I remember, like, me, my sister, and her now girlfriend would all play that game together, and we would recreate, the characters from Twilight in the Sims 2 Castaway, and we would dedicate almost all of our energy into torturing Edward as much as physically possible.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
Wow,
And then just made, like, and just would make, like, Alice and Rosalie kiss as often as possible.
That's so fun.
Twilight was absolutely my gay awakening. Like,
I feel like it was a lot of people's gay awakening. I say this
just,
about
like,
every media, but like, listen, if you look hard enough.
oh yeah. I remember like me, like me, my sister, and her now girlfriend would like, I would help them write lesbian fan fiction of like Alice and
Incredible.
Rosalie, and like, but we were all like, but we're like straight. We're like definitely straight. We're just being such good allies that we're like making lesbian fan fiction and dedicating our like literally every moment of our waking lives to like working on this. But we're just like really good allies.
We're so
We would like
straight.
I like remember unironically saying straight but not narrow, like with the most like my full chest.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
listen,
sweetheart.
that's why when I hear people say stuff like that, I'm usually just like, honestly, good for you. Like,
Yeah.
you're probably
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna change eventually, I think, but for now, like, if that's where you're at, I'm glad.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's like
man.
it's not there yet, but it's on the path, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're getting our lightning power now.
Oh my god, I love her.
The tiger is the best. With a bow that shoots lightning bolts, like, come on. Man.
That's so fucking tight.
It's so good.
I want to give him a hug. Oh my god, that's like so fucking metal. What
Yeah.
the
Cool.
fuck?
Cool as fuck.
There it is again. I love that all of like Ami's kids are just like, ah, finally, thank God. Hi, Mom.
Oh, things have been really scary and stressful recently.
Look, literally.
I'm so glad you're back. I missed you, Mom.
Can you clean up this castle, please?
Please, I try so hard and it's still so hard. It's scary.
But they're like, it's like that, but they're also gods. So it's just like,
Yeah.
this is the
It's
best.
like adorable.
See that sword statue over there? Try striking it with a bolt of lightning. So yeah, basically all of the powers that are like, oh, you can, oh, whoops. I get it. You gotta wait for them. No, I understand how to draw a line. It's not the line I'm concerned about. It's the lightning that I have to capture. All the elements that you get that are like, oh, you can control fire, you can like move water. You also can get an upgraded version of them where you can just summon it yourself,
Ooh.
which is really cool. But they're all from side quests, and I don't remember where the side quests are. So maybe between streams I'll have to do a little digging to figure out where to get those.
Yeah. Do some research.
You'd be surprised how often I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to do in the game next? like,
Oh, I mean, I do not doubt it. That's how I feel whenever I'm doing anything.
Okay. Yeah, and like it's not super common. It's more common with this game than any other game because the game does not always do a great job of telling you what you need to do next.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is fine. Like I don't really give a shit, but you know, it's just one of those things.
Oh yeah, as long as you're having fun, that's all that really matters.
Exactly. It's been so good to like. The nice thing too is like I feel like when I stream a game, I like play through it more than I would when I'm like casually playing.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to casually play through Okami again and been like, oh, like maybe another time, or like I just fall out of it. But for whatever reason, with what's this doing here? Can we? Okay. For whatever reason, when I stream it, it's like a lot easier to just like. I think it's because I like it's always in chunks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna play a little Okami for 3 hours or 4 hours or 5
Plus,
hours.
like, I don't know. I always find like having people
Oh yeah.
watching or interacting while you're playing games also just makes you notice more shit too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
You have to,
You
put
just have
on,
like,
oh, this and this.
yeah, because like you've got like extra sets of eyes being like, oh hey, this is a thing.
And you're like, oh shit, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You can like crowdsource your gameplay.
Yeah. No, I mean it's true. I like it's funny because different like interest levels in the game that I'm playing result in different things. Like for example, in the first stream of Final Fantasy VII Remake, we were like super analyzing each like moment and being like, look at the art direction, look at the acting choices. In later streams, we were like shooting the shit, and you might be like, oh, well, that's like, you must prefer the analyzing, but it's like, I also just like get a chance to like play a game and like hang out with friends, which is nice.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they're both nice for different reasons.
Exactly, and it's nice that we get to like have a variety of it. And,
I'm
like,
excited
instead
to have you on for Final Fantasy 14 though, because like from my knowledge you haven't really seen too much of it, right?
No, I have not. I have not seen nearly any of it.
Yeah, so I'm
Pretty
excited
much.
to just like show you it and be like, this is what it
Yeah.
is, and like this is how you heal in Final Fantasy 14, and like this is how you like the thing that I think is the most incredible thing about Final Fantasy 14 as far as like being a game goes is
Yeah.
it plays, I'm not kidding, Andy, as good on mouse and keyboard as it does on controller.
That's fucking incredible.
Like you can play it on controller as good as you could play it on PC,
Holy shit.
which is so
That's-
uncommon. What the fuck am I supposed to do with
that's
this
like
icon?
unheard of.
Yeah, no, and so this is the crazy thing. This is why I like adore the Square Enix team. They're like
Yeah.
they have not copyrighted this control scheme, so other people can make it when they make MMO ports to console.
That's
They're
so
like, we're not
good.
going to copyright it. Like you can just use this.
Yeah,
Okay. Apparently this
just
is
like
local.
make it like open source.
Yeah,
pretty
they were
much.
like, oh, we developed it, and feel free to use it if you want.
I love that. Like
And it's like, damn,
that's
dude.
like the best way to approach like just like making
That's how
stories
that's how
is,
you
like,
know
if
people like playing games more than they like making an extra buck.
Exactly, because like that's an accessibility thing that just
Oh,
makes
yeah.
it so like more people can play games, and like why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, it's the best. The 14 devs are so good. I mean, like they are also the kind of like devs where like sometimes things get delayed and
Yeah.
they will like get up on stage and like all of the developers will get up on stage and apologize, from like the director to like the coders.
Wow.
And they'll like
That's
bow and be
crazy.
like, "Thank you for waiting. We're very sorry. We want it to be good, so we're not pushing it out yet.
That's so good. Like
Thank you
I
for like
definitely,
getting
like-
that." And it's like, damn, dude.
I definitely want to try it at some point.
I mean, yeah,
But, like,
I couldn't
I almost
recommend it
wanna, like-
enough. Like, it's just such a good game.
Especially if we're gonna be playing it on the stream. I
Mhm.
definitely like feel like it'd be fun to try it after the stream and just like have
Yeah.
the stream be like pure first reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think that'd be fun.
Sure. Yeah, I'm super down with that. I mean, I think one thing that's difficult about it is like I do think it's a little slow at the beginning.
Oh,
Because, like, it's just the way that MMOs work. Like, when you only have, like, 2 abilities, it's like, well, I'm going to press
Yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
But, like,
MMOs start off very slow.
but, like, I think people are shocked by how quickly it becomes engaging.
Yeah.
They also not recently, but, like, recently in, like, game development words, like, trimmed down on the first, like, so basically the way people talk about, like, 14 stuff, I don't know if this is probably similar in WoW, but maybe it's not. But they talk
Yeah.
about it as far as, like, the patch number goes. So, like, when I talk about,
Yeah.
like, the early story, it's 2.0 for 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they trimmed down on 2.0. Like, they made it shorter.
Yeah.
Specifically because they were like, okay, we understand that everyone likes the content that comes after this more.
Yeah.
So we're just going to make it less so that,
So
know.
you can get there faster.
Exactly. And I mean, they have, like...
Awesome.
They have like job skip potions and stuff like that where you can like just skip the story and like get to like
Oh,
relatively
good.
recent content. I always tell people like I don't think you should do it because there's a lot like if you do it you gotta be like familiar with what's going on because I've watched a lot of streamers in like the Exodus period from WoW to 14 where like
Yeah.
they'll job skip and be like, why did I get pushed off there? And I'm like, well, you would have learned if like you just played the game like normally. Because they're not going to give you a tutorial in, like, end game content.
No, God no.
You
You have
know?
to earn it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you get there, you've already done all the, like, learning. They very rarely introduce things to you in the game. So when they
Yeah.
do, it's like, you either learn it or you can't get past it. And then you learn it, and then you do get past it.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like want to check it out sometime. It seems like super fun.
It is. I mean, one thing that it does super well as well is, like, character creation and customization.
Yeah, I always like, and like one thing I always hear, especially because like I said, I was like really involved in the like
Mm-hmm.
play side of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And one thing that I always would hear about Final Fantasy 14 is the fact that there's like a real estate system and you can buy houses,
Yeah, there
which is
is.
fucking incredible. Like I know it's apparently super competitive,
It
which
is
makes sense.
an insanely competitive market. The
Yeah, I
problem,
can
so
only
the
imagine.
biggest thing with 14, like the root of all problems with 14 is that they built it on the back of what we call 1.0, but it was basically Final Fantasy 14 before it was called Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
Which was like a failed game. Like it was basically canceled.
Yeah. I
It
remember hearing
received
about.
really bad, and so they fired the director and they hired a new one named Naoki Yoshida, and he is the current director still. And
Yeah.
because they built it on the back of that, they have very limited space for things like information.
Yeah.
So, like for example, they're getting rid of one of the types of equipment because they don't have enough space for it. They're lowering
Okay.
damage numbers because they don't have enough room for like how high damage is right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know WoW did something similar going into the most recent expansion,
Yeah.
like into Shadowlands. They did like a level crunch because prior to Shadowlands, like um, Battle for Azeroth, the level cap was
It's like 160.
120.
Oh yeah, 120. Yeah.
120, and then they shrunk it down so the new level cap when Shadowlands came out would be 60. So everyone who is like max level was suddenly like I think 55,
That makes sense. Yeah.
and like now like like when you start the game, you can play any expansions from the beginning.
Yeah. That's
Like,
cool.
You can be a level 1 character and be playing like Battle for Azeroth shit, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, that's pretty whack. In this game, they're just like lowering the damage.
Yeah.
So, like for example, if your like ability that was like fire used to do like 10,000 damage, now it does like 1,000 damage.
Yeah.
Just because like basically the reason was so in 14 there's two types of raids. There's 8-man raids and 24-man raids.
Yeah.
24-mans is just 3 parties of 8, but the bosses for 24-man raids have to be able to survive 24 characters at maximum level, hitting them for like 10 minutes. So they have like trillions of health.
Yeah, that's insane.
So like they just were like, okay, the numbers can't get much higher, so we have to crunch. Like we have to lower it. And they even apologized for it. They're like, we're very sorry. It's like, damn, dude, it's okay.
Like I know seeing big numbers is fun, but it's also like
I want the game
so
to work.
hard to do.
Yeah. That being said, I think now's a good time to go for break.
Yeah, of course.
Because we're at a safe point. So we're gonna be back in 15 minutes, and we'll see you then.
Goodbye.
See you in a second. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was just saying that like, if you need a couple minutes or whatever, you got all the time in the world.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I'm ready to rumble and party and whatever else is happening.
We are on like I think like the final third or so of the dungeon.
Cool.
It's got a really great boss fight. I remember really enjoying it as a kid, although part of that might have just been because I was so shocked that like someone would betray my character in this game. It's just not the kind of game you expect to be betrayed in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the sort of one where you'd have some sort of like dramatic
you're like
betrayal of us.
Wait, what? Oh, you're really
like, wait, this has been just like a fun romp with all of my children. Why is someone betraying me?
And I guess it makes sense because they're like a monster, but I'm still kind of like, come on, dude. You're gonna betray the god of the sun? Like, what's that? What's that?
Have you seen how cool I am? Like, consider just like not being shitty for a minute?
Seriously. I obtained a pearl. Oh, whoops. Oh, I have 2 keys, that's why. I understand now. I was like, why will that not let me?
Full of riches.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's just totally gone now. I watched. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any interest in it, but I watched the most recent Suicide Squad film by James Gunn.
I haven't seen any of them before.
I haven't seen either of them either, but my friend Meg saw the new one and she really liked it.
I really enjoyed the new one. There's this really weird thing. So the first one was obviously like everyone knows that it was really bad.
Yeah.
It's like a well-known thing about this movie. It just was not good. It's like the director, who the name escapes me right now, but the director of the film said that it was originally meant to be a soulful drama, but the studio like cut it to pieces and rechanged the order of a bunch of scenes, and it just ended up being like a mess.
Yeah.
I would honestly say that the second one by James Gunn actually did feel like a soulful drama.
That's good.
Which was shocking because I kind of went in with like pretty low expectations again.
Yeah.
And I talked about this with James, but I also am like I have a weakness now, which is like rodents who are friendly in movies. I'm like, oh no, all I see is guinea pigs now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, protect them. So there's a character named Ratcatcher 2, who like control rats. That's like her thing.
Yeah.
She's one of the main characters of the film, and she has a little rat named Sebastian. And the whole movie, I was just so scared that something would happen to her or Sebastian that like you wouldn't believe the tension like in my whole body throughout the film. Like I was just like, oh my god, what if something happens to Sebastian? I don't know what I'm gonna do. And like the whole movie, I get so like protective and scared for like the things I love. I have like stress dreams where my girlfriend and I, if you guys don't know who Aizen is, where Aizen and I went up to my, at one point, we were going up to my dad's, like 2 weekends ago, and we were gonna bring the guinea pigs at one point. And we ended up deciding against it, mostly just because my sister ended up coming with us and the car was way too full to fit them for a like 5-hour drive.
Yeah.
And then also we were like just kind of unsure about how they'd be able to handle like a 5-hour drive where like they're not in like a large space.
Yeah.
So we just decided against it. But I had, leading up to the decision to not bring them, I had stress dreams probably once or twice a week of them getting eaten by a bird.
Oh, Dylan.
And I was just mortified. Like, I'd wake up in a cold sweat being like, oh my god, what if Foggy gets fucking snatched by a fucking turkey vulture?
You're like such a sweetheart.
I'm just very anxious.
I mean,
Ew,
I
man.
feel that, but it's just you have just like such a big heart. It's
I
so
just
sweet.
every time my brain's like we should go to sleep, my brain's also like, what if you imagined all the worst case scenarios for things that could happen to you?
Oh,
Same.
word!
Oh
Like,
my God,
yeah,
same.
that's my
So.
entire brain.
It's like,
It's like the
on one
instant
hand, I'm
you-
like, yeah, I guess I'm probably like pretty caring, but like at this other hand, I'm like, this is definitely coming from a place of absolute terror and not like.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I mean, it is coming
I,
from love as well, but
oh yeah.
I love those fucking pigs.
It's a mix of both.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely feel you on the like sleeping is just like brings out every single like
Yeah.
nightmare.
It's like, damn, dude, what the fuck? We're trying to rest.
Yeah,
Cut me some
I,
slack.
like, without fail, like it's like the instant your head hits the pillow, every single like thing that worries you suddenly like fills your brain.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to sleep. So I just like, you know, this has been happening like for the majority of my life. So I just like, I just watch videos when I go to sleep, and I just try to think about the video.
Yeah.
And then like most nights I sleep fine. Like obviously some nights I'm gonna have nightmares, but that's like it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Um,
I know my go-to technique is it's something that my mom taught me when I was really little. She like taught me to make like a little like headspace thing of like a mental like house or like a place I go to when I'm stressed, and then just like do stuff there. So like when I'm trying to sleep, I'll just picture myself like at this little rainy cottage with a little pond, and I'll picture it has like a wood shop and a little workshop, and I'll either imagine myself like collecting the clay to like do some like pottery, or I'll like do like imagine myself weaving or imagine myself embroidering something, and that's usually like what helps me sleep. But it's like I'm realizing as I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, this is the dorkiest shit. It's like, yeah, I just like pretend to do weaving to go to sleep.
honestly though, I do get it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just like I need to just think about something super like mindless right now.
yeah.
Damn. Okay, this is we did this before on stream. We're gonna do it again. Everybody's job is to remember. I'm gonna remember the first two.
Okay.
Andy, do you want to remember the next two?
Okay.
You can even put your finger on the screen to help.
Yeah, oh yeah, I will.
Good.
I'm putting everything that was
Great.
in my hands down. I'm
Okay,
like,
and then Julian, you just gotta
leaning
remember.
forward.
All you gotta do is put your finger on the last one that appears.
Oh, it's only one? Great.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm so
There's
you do
5.
first 2, I do second 2.
Yes. So 3, 4 for you. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. 1 second. And 1 and 2. All right. Where are we going, Andy?
Under the rectangle, the like of
Oh.
the
Oh
eyes.
yeah.
That corner.
This corner.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the other one is move to your what's it called? Your right a little,
Mhm.
and then go up a little.
Mhm.
Right there.
Okay. And Julian,
Top left, baby.
like right over here.
A little more down. A little more up.
Oh, a little
Like
more
in
up.
line with the others.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
right here.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Hey! Teamwork.
Na, da, da, na. We killed the door.
This I love all the blockheads. They're very funny. But as a kid, I got stuck on these for like days at a time.
Oh, I
Oh
can
my god,
only
yeah, that would
imagine.
have been so hard for me as a kid.
Not only
I
did like we didn't have camera phones, so like I couldn't just take a picture of it or anything. They're different every time, so like you couldn't look it up.
no.
It is a
You just had to
nightmare.
hope and pray.
You just had to try and remember.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It was horrible.
I mean, like, I don't know. I was the
Wait.
sort of kid that, like, if I got too frustrated with something, I would just start crying. So I
Yeah,
could
same.
absolutely see, like, a tiny version of Andy just, like, sitting and like furiously crying while trying to do that.
There was definitely a future where I ended up being like just a horribly like toxic gamer, because at one point my dad used to do like airplane runways for construction for work, and at one point he was going away soon and we were playing Jack 2, and I remember I really wanted to beat a level before he went away.
Yeah.
And I just could not do it. It was like a time trial. I just like couldn't do it fast enough.
Yeah.
And I was getting so upset, and at one point it was like the last try before he had to leave, and I failed it, and I like whipped the controller into the wall, like shattered the thing. Was just so mad and like crying and like angry. And then I played it with my mom like a week later, and she was like, just pretend that it doesn't matter. And I was like, okay. And then I did that, and then I did it, and I was just like, damn, that easy, huh?
Yeah.
But it was like, there was definitely a future where if I didn't ask my mom to help me with that level, like I could have become like a very different person, I feel like.
Oh yeah, it's always funny when you like clock those moments in your life where like, huh, if this didn't happen, my life would look very different.
No, seriously.
Like, yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
Rip to Toby, but I think this is his death scene. I hope my final dash pleased you, good sir. You're not half bad for a scrap of paper, and even though you're an enemy, I guess I should commend you. It's so sad because all he wanted to do was race, and then we beat him, and now he has to die.
That's
Because
so sad.
the rule was that he had to keep people out by racing them.
he finally.
But he's like, thank
Finally
you.
got
This was
his
he's like, this was the race of my life. I treasured it, and no one can ever take that away from me. Though I may have been born a mere servant of spirits, I should at least be allowed to do what I please at my passing. Like, damn! I played this when I was 8.
That's like beautiful.
It is.
Like.
And he just turns into a normal piece of paper, and a little
lovely way
flower grows out of him.
Sure. Life.
Mm-hmm. I may have been born a servant, but I should at least be able to choose the pleasure of my passing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Such an earnest feeling, and it's just like, yeah, you know what? I get it.
You're right, little scrap of paper.
I feel you, funky little dude.
That's my favorite cryptid, is like little floating piece of paper who's evil. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I love you.
Like, I love the idea of paper cuts becoming a heat-seeking threat.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, this is the boss. Okay, great. So yeah, this is the final boss of this area. This is the priestess who betrayed us.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna turn into the kitsune here. Little nine-tailed fox action. You thought they were only gonna do the 8-headed snake storyline? Nah. They even have the Ark of Yamato in this, which is like, I'd be surprised if people had heard of that myth. It's like a not common myth for Japanese folklore, which is a pretty cool thing to put in this game. It's the final. It's the final dungeon. Basically, the Ark of Yamato is like the kingdom of God in heaven had like all the monsters and bad stuff in it as well. And one day they had to move from like one kingdom to another, and they took this giant Ark of Yamato, and man shot it down, thinking it was a monster, and unleashed all the evil into the world. It's kind of like their Pandora's box.
I like that. That's really interesting.
It's a really cool, like, I mean, it's a pretty great metaphor for just like, maybe you shouldn't kill things if you don't understand them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Maybe you should go a little easy on the violence.
Yeah.
But
man, I always love learning about like stories from around the world. I just love storytelling. It's so exciting to me.
Me too. Who is this? Oh, nice. One of Julian's friends.
What's up?
One of your friends liked my tweet, and I was like, "Who is this?" And then I realized you were following them, and I was like, "Oh, it's one of your friends." The username was Mouthrot.
Oh, that's my friend Josh.
Yeah.
I saw him today.
There you go.
That's my buddy.
We love to see it. This is a cool bit too, because this is like where the game betrays you a little bit, where you think this is a constellation, but it's actually the boss. I know where they're supposed to be. It's hard to hit them exactly with this fucking joystick. God damn it. Alright, let these go away so I can actually see where I'm going. Oh, that's why I'm missing one of them. Well, okay, fair enough.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is super cool.
Yeah. Really cool moment where they break the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
Every single other time you've gotten a brush stroke, and now it's like, no, this is the final boss. Or not the final boss,
Oh, that
but
looks tight as shit.
right?
Oh, are all the tails like
Different.
almost like little brushes?
Yeah, they're brushes, because so this boss is really cool because when you pause time to brush, they can too.
Fucking awesome. I love it when it like the game takes the stuff it's giving you and then like forces you to also deal with it.
Oh, dude, the fact that so throughout the whole game, you always have the crutch of you can pause the game whenever by holding down R to brush.
Yeah.
And then in this moment, they're like, but we can too now.
Yeah, that's so fucking like, it's just like one of those delicious little like, it's that little tweak that just makes the stakes feel so much different and makes every fight after feel different and in such a like visceral way. It's so tight.
It's awesome. I also really like Sun's character development. We get his arc next. His arc where we get to shrink down and go to where he's from, because he, in the very first bit of the game, he's like, oh yeah, I ran away from home. We get to go to his home in a little toadstool.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love it because I just love all the like little like pixie people who live in foliage and fauna and that kind of thing. Oh god.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see if I can.
You know what this
Yeah,
kind
see.
of reminds me of? This almost reminds me of like in how in what's it called? Not Demon Souls, but the Blood one. What is it called?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. Thank you. I knew there
problem.
was another word in there, but I just only got blood.
That's alright.
How in Bloodborne you can fight like other hunters and they like
Yeah.
kind of like players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It like I always love when games do shit like that 'cause it's just like I don't know, it's just so fun and like scary in a new way.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh shit, all the shit I've been doing to monsters, they're gonna do to me now. Like all these
Yeah,
like
'cause
cheap
they-
tactics I use, they use.
Because they like you know just how effective they are.
Exactly.
And then to have them like turned against you, you're like, oh shit, how do I counter this?
Yeah, I never thought about how to counter a hunter.
Yeah.
If they ever do a PS5 patch for Bloodborne, I think I'm gonna play it on stream.
That'd be super fun.
I really liked they did another one called Sekiro, which is basically just like a Japanese myth version of Bloodborne.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. It looks really cool.
It is really cool. It's also like the most story focused game they've done, which is really interesting because like they don't usually do a lot of story, but like you can't like yeah, they can't like you can't edit the character in this one. Like he's just a guy. He's
That's, like,
he's just a
exciting,
tired
though.
dad. And there's like still like 7 endings and shit. Like it's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really well done, honestly. I really enjoyed it. There's also some really like surprising moments in it. Like
Yeah.
very famously, there's a boss where it's like a giant ape, and it just fights like a giant ape. And eventually, when you kill it, it like does the like you've executed the boss screen.
Yeah.
And then after like a long time, where you're just like waiting for the items to drop from the boss, or like the little like treasure you're supposed to get, he picks up his head, and you have to fight him again.
Oh shit.
And it's horrifying.
That's terrifying.
And
That's
that's just such a cool moment.
That's
Sekiro
so
has a lot of
cool.
those too. Like there is so many moments like that in Sekiro.
Man, that's like that whole like genre of game is stuff that I'm like so interested in and want to watch, and like I would love to play, but I know I would literally never be able to play a game like that. Just, I'm
they
not
are
good enough.
so fucking hard.
And,
But it's like
I-
the thing about them, it's weird because I always felt like that as well, because I actually played one before I knew about the series. I played the first Dark Souls.
Okay.
Like at a friend's recommendation. He was like, oh, you should try this game called Dark Souls. I was like, okay. I played it for like an hour and I was like, fuck this game, man.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks. And so I never picked it up. And since then, like when it became very popular, I was like, oh, I tried that. It's hard as fuck. That's probably why it's popular. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And what I ended up learning is that it's more of like, do you remember how late in the Kingdom Hearts streams I was kind of talking about how it feels like a rhythm game? Where like you kind of have to do the right thing at the right time, and it's always the right thing at the right time. That's kind of how Dark Souls feels. Once you play it enough. Same thing with like Bloodborne and Sekiro. Like once you've played it enough, it's like you kind of get especially Sekiro, because you never get a shield in Sekiro.
Okay, yeah.
So like you can't just like shield enemy attacks, you have to parry them.
Yeah, that's like how it is in Bloodborne. Like you don't get to. There's like you have to play aggressively. You can't play conservatively.
And so basically, what it ends up doing is you have to press the block button in time with the attack.
Ooh.
Like a rhythm game, like notes falling kind of.
Yeah.
And like the better you do, the less guard damage you take, and when you're out of guard, like you can't guard anymore, you can't parry.
Yeah.
So you have to dodge the next attack. And as you're blocking, their guard gauge is raising, and if you raise it all the way, you kill them in one hit.
Ooh.
So for bosses, they'll have an amount of health bars, but basically it just means how many times you have to get them to that point and then hit them once. So Sekiro becomes this really interesting game of like you have to survive until you kill them, but you always kill them in one hit. So it's like a weird situation where it's really not that hard, but like it's the survival that's like so focused on.
Yeah, and it's just like you gotta nail it.
And Sekiro's the only game where they gave you a respawn. Like you can respawn once per kind of like run through an area.
Oh, that's cool.
And then if you die a second time, you start again and you have to respawn. You get your respawn back and you have to.
Yeah.
But it's cool because for a boss fight, like you have a second chance.
Yeah.
So
that's really interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Man. I'm not good enough at timing stuff.
Yeah.
To like manage it. I'm too twitchy.
I do totally get that.
I'm so unbelievably bad at every fishing game. Like, I know Jem adores fishing games, and like, I get it. I think they're fucking delightful too. I just also suck ass at all of them.
I totally get that.
Oh, I just feel like it's like so tantalizing because I want to fish, but they never want me.
That's so funny. So anyway, super cool fight. They do
that
painting
fight was
while you paint.
super interesting.
Yeah, I really like that one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there though.
Oh no, you're totally good.
Oh, it's my favorite himbo, who speaks French for some reason. Like in this Japanese game about Japanese folklore, he speaks French. I'm like, damn, man.
Like explaining sort of like
the reasoning for the translation.
The reasoning. It's so like I just love how they went with French.
I know. They're like, oh, he's hoity-toity, so he must be French. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, like, because it would have been interesting if they had done, like, the English style, but the fact that he's French is just funny.
Yeah, it is funny because, like, you'd think, had they had the capability to actually do, like, a full dub, they probably would have just made him British.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Where they would have just made him like just to seem like, oh, like he's so, you know,
like posh.
Posh, exactly. Like,
yeah.
You're a tiger. I love that this game just lets you feed every animal you see.
Yeah, like.
Good feature.
Can you pet the dog? You can pet the everything.
You can feed the other animals because you're the dog, and then they're like, what the fuck?
You can pet the you.
You get a bark button, which I feel like is like almost equivalent.
Yeah. You
Especially
because
because the bark
dog and
button
you get
doesn't
bark.
do anything other than like startle people.
Yeah, it's just for the vibes.
It's just because you're a dog and you're like, I want to bark. And the game's like,
Yeah.
I know. So we gave you a
We
bark
get
button.
it. Yeah.
Love this
Dude,
game.
if I could bark, I would be barking all the fucking time. I'd be so fucking
Yeah.
annoying. I've like come to accept the fact that I'm like a Chihuahua human.
Sure.
It's
Oh,
been
I
like
probably am too.
it's been like a steep acceptance sort
No,
of
no,
journey I've been
you know
on,
who's a
but-
koala human? Andy, I don't know if I think you know this person by name, but not by like voice, because I don't think they've been on stream more than like maybe one time for like 10 minutes. But Bryn
Yeah.
is definitely a Chihuahua person,
Oh yeah.
like for sure.
All bark.
All bark.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bryn is a small dog who thinks they're a big dog.
Yeah, which is a
Yeah.
great dog. Like that's a very cute dog.
Oh, I love
I was
Bryn.
gonna say
Yeah.
that's deeply relatable.
I think I'm very similar.
This is not an
Yeah,
insult.
it's just like feral energy contained in a small package.
Yeah. Oh my god, I saved the pigs. I'm gonna cry.
Oh my god! I love wild boars so fucking much. Like my
Herb?
zodiac is the year of the boar,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Look at this
oh
guy
my
go.
fucking God. I love he's just a baby. He's got these little baby stripes.
Gosh.
I fucking love pigs, man. They're so fucking cute.
Me too. Weirdly, because guinea pigs are not related to pigs, but now that they have pigs in their name and I call them the pigs have become like one of
Yeah.
my favorite animals.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they're so
Man.
good.
I remember I had this like graphic novel. I do not remember what it was called, but I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. I read it back to front like a bunch of times, but one of my favorite characters in it was this giant like boar with a like it had a collar on it that had a little like locked box on it. And then she was just like this big boar, and she was like fully sentient and could talk, and she was just
Amazing.
like this like very sweet kind of sassy boar, and I just was like I loved her so much.
That's hilarious.
Plus just like they're just funky fellows.
They really are. They're just
you know
they're
what's
just
another very good
funky.
animal
what's that?
that is related to guinea pigs?
Mm.
Capybaras.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're like just
As
like
as me and Aislinn like to call them biggie pigs.
biggie pigs. Oh my god, what the fuck? I love that.
Right? Because they're
Biggie
big
pig.
big guinea pigs.
I just love seeing them. Like they're just friends to all. They just are
Truly.
absolutely vibing. I do have to say, whenever I like come across TikToks of capybaras, my immediate thought is always like, oh, this makes me think of Dylan. And like any guinea pig I see, I'm just like, oh,
Oh,
Dylan.
feel free to send them my way.
Okay,
More
cool.
guinea
I was,
pigs
like,
are always welcome.
I always think to him like, is that weird? Will
No.
that be weird if I just start sending him guinea pigs?
Literally
So
never.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to know that that's a thing. I will do that.
Now,
Expect that
I will say, like, most of the time when people send me stuff, I'll either just do a reaction or not respond. It is not
That's totally
personal.
fine.
I am just literally, what happens is I think, oh, I should say this to that person. And then I look at the picture. And then I look at the picture for a little too long, and I forget that I'm going to reply. And then I end up opening a fifth picture and realize I haven't responded in 5 pictures. And I'm like, oh my god. And so, yeah, it's a whole thing. But
Yeah, no, you're totally good. I have like a friend who we like literally the only way we regularly communicate is sending each other TikToks. We and we never even like comment on each other's TikToks.
That's so
we only
funny.
just like heart react, and we do it. We've been doing this for fucking months.
That's
and we only
hilarious.
exchange like at most a paragraph or words to each other. And it's fucking tight, so like, I do not fret.
Okay,
my friend.
sweet. I'm a good company.
You are
then.
in good company.
Glad to hear it.
I just like sending shit to people. It feels like a fun little like surprise gift for later.
I'm glad.
It's so I plus like I just love TikTok. It's a problem, but it's so fun.
I mean, it's you know, it like say what you will about it. It's literally Vine, but long.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just
there's
Vine
there's a
with
there's
longer lifespan.
it is crazy that like between Vine and TikTok, there wasn't someone who was like, yeah, definitely a great way to make like a easy social media that will make a shit ton of money is just only post videos.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like it's weird that no one else thought of that. Like that's all TikTok is.
Yeah.
You can just post.
Yeah.
You can only post videos, and they have to be like maximum a minute long. I think it's a minute.
I think the maximum is now 3 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, 3 minutes long max. You know, very short form videos,
Yeah.
and that's it. And it's social media.
And like having it be short form videos is like really smart because it encourages people to just consume a crazy
shit ton
amount
of
of
them.
content.
Yeah.
Like
No, you're right.
really quickly.
It's very easy to go one more TikTok because it's
like
they're a
just
minute.
another 6 seconds.
They're
And I just get sucked in, and then I spend too much time on it.
Yeah, I definitely I go through phases where I'll get like really into TikTok again, and then I'll need to like have a break.
Whenever
I'm never
I open
too
the app
bad
to, like,
about
show
it.
someone on TikTok, I have to go immediately off my For You page or I'll get sucked in. So I just don't do it.
Oh,
I
we're
stopped
already
before I
here.
got
Huh?
in too deep.
This is a fun area. This is the last major area of the game. There's 3 of
Ooh.
them, so this is the third. This one is the snow area. It's in the tundra.
Ooh, I love me a
And-
good snow zone.
All of the people here can turn into wolves as well.
Ooh, that's tight.
Yeah. So they segregated themselves so they all live together, so they wouldn't hurt people by accident.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, they're great.
That's so cool.
Also, you leave snowflakes behind you instead of plants here,
Oh my god, I love it.
which is just cute.
Yeah.
And we get to meet our first villager like right after this.
Shit, Animal Crossing.
Literally.
Hey KK Slider, how you doing? Nice to visit your vacation home.
It would be pretty funny if Tom Nook like vacationed in like the fucking Arctic. You'd be like,
Oh my
damn,
God,
really,
can
dude?
you imagine?
You have all those bells? You have
I would
millions of
paradise.
bells, and you're going to the Arctic?
I mean, he already has homes in.
He has
several
everywhere else.
islands.
You're right. Like that is the
Like,
thing.
I feel like if you wanted to change the scenery, he'd have to either go.
You
to,
know what's
like,
actually? You know what I just realized that's
the
interesting.
Arctic or the desert.
He doesn't have a home on the island. He only has a shop.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like maybe I'm wrong because I haven't played many of the other Animal Crossings, but I feel like he usually does have a home in the towns.
I don't remember him ever having a house.
That's so weird. I feel like you could just give him
No,
a house.
I think it's just like assumed that
He just lives in the
his
shop.
house is just like attached to the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not like
No,
thrashing the
yeah.
idea, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I never really thought about it before, but yeah.
Hmm.
He doesn't have like a separate home. Same with like Brewster and like
Yeah.
like
Oh,
like
I
all
love
of them.
the edgy boy. My love.
gotta love a good edgy boy.
Oh, that's a cute mask.
Right?
Aw. Oh, he's cute.
I fucking love this guy. The pink hair too,
Yeah.
that goes to black.
edgy little man.
Just like seething in your direction.
He's just so mad. Very cinematic moment though, I gotta say, for this PS2 game. The like slow
Oh,
steps, the like pacing each other. I love this.
Oh
moment.
yeah. I love how this kid's just fucking squaring up with
I
a
know.
wolf.
He's like, all right. Well, it's funny because they all turn into wolves, right? So he doesn't know if this is like a new person like him.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing, because like every other character talks to Ami like they're not like they're like, oh whatever, stupid wolf. I guess if you could fix this for me, that'd be great. These people are all like, you're probably an intelligent creature.
Yeah.
Because we've been wolves, and it's funny.
Like we get it.
Yeah, like
Wolves are fun.
they know enough.
Wolves are cool. They're good people.
They're good people.
It's fucking showdown. It's so
I know.
much.
You're like, damn, what the fuck? Is this guy actually like the shit? Because the whole time you're like, oh, you dumbass, like you don't know who you're fighting. And then you're like, oh wait, what the fuck?
It's like, wait, why are you? What's going on?
Why are you able to like light fires from a distance? Like, what is this about?
What is this fucking kid?
What if I burned you with your own fire, dumbass?
Fucking prank.
Ow, ow, ow. Okay, maybe you're good. Oh, oof, ow, yeah, ouchie. Alright, you can't power slash him. Oh, my bones.
Sorry, I think I mean the hours my bones.
Ah,
I
thank
don't
you.
remember what I might have said that.
I think you
I
said
think
that.
you did said that.
Did I? Good for me.
Yeah.
Alright, let's, you know, we got all these items that I never use. Where's the extra? Moderately damages no enemies. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, right, he turns into the wolf in the fight. I forgot about this.
Ooh.
Super cool
Dude,
wolf,
he looks tight as shit.
right?
Oh my god, the amount of fucking edgy wolf OCs that spawn from this motherfucker. you
I
can
wish,
only
like,
imagine.
if this game was more popular, this would have been, like, the biggest furry awakening.
I mean, it
in North
probably
America.
was for a lot of people.
I believe it.
Like,
we'll also just
I know there was a girl in my school, like my elementary school, that was like super into this, into.
Oh, into this? That's fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's cool. Holy shit, dude. This is like some warrior cat shit.
Oh my god, dude! Don't even fucking start. I loved Warrior Cats as a kid.
Did you see the Warrior Cats pick room?
Dude! Oh my god! Same! What the fuck?
Yeah!
You probably were roleplayed together.
Never met someone. I guarantee we probably been together on this test at some point.
Probably.
That's-
I would, yeah.
That's hilarious! Oh my god! I used to run Neopets with my cousin.
I'd go on with my sister.
It's fucking awesome.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that fucking is hilarious. I love coincidences like
I
that.
know, it's so crazy. Oh god.
Man, I was thinking about like the role-playing scene on Neopets the other day. That shit was like the Wild West. It was so crazy. The amount of fucking like batshit drama I watched go down in those fucking forums was like unreal, man.
That's so funny because like I also noticed a lot of drama in like the Naruto role-playing scene.
Oh yeah.
Because that was something I was like deep into as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But it's so funny that you guys both did Neopets roleplay.
Yeah.
The other like, you go ahead, Julian.
Oh, I didn't have much to say.
I'm okay. I still want to hear it.
Yeah, no, that was just what I did as a kid, and like
Yeah.
I would play Warrior Cats in the schoolyard with my friends.
Yeah, same.
That's so funny.
I would like run around and play Warrior Cats all the time.
Oh, yeah, in like first and second grade, that was my shit.
Yeah. Oh god. I was like so into role playing when I was a kid. The other like forum I was really into, especially in like elementary school, was do you know like Golden Compass, like his dark art like materials?
I know I read it as a kid, but I don't.
Um, I was involved with this forum that was called the Damon Forum, and it was just dedicated to like, you know how in the Golden Compass everyone has a daemon, which is like a sort of like animal manifestation of your soul that you like have, and like when you're a kid they can like shapeshift, and then as once you like grow up they actually settle into a permanent form that represents your like personality. This website, like forum I was a part of, was like dedicated to like create like breaking down animal behavior into like a discrete personality typing system, and then like just talking about stuff like that. It was such a fucking fun community. Like
That's
people
awesome.
did art, like the forum finding stuff and the analyses and stuff were so elaborate, and like I would spend hours just like reading about different animals and like different stuff to try and like see like what fit, and I was like, oh, I'm like, am
That's
I
cool.
more of like in like the canine area, or I'm like more of like in like the earth sign, or like, oh, it was so much fun.
That's cool. So this is kind of a cool bit in the game because this guy, Oki, actually knew Isan like before the game started.
Oh.
And he knows who Amaterasu is and like the whole legend. And his dad was the one who taught the first wolf, which is Shiranui, which they've talked about a couple times, but it's the wolf from all the legends that they're talking about.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, I know you, and you're nothing like what you're supposed to be. Like, you're very weak. And so we find out that these two demons that are like terrorizing his town called Kamui killed Shiranui in the ancient past, and he's like, if he was much stronger than you, then like you're gonna have really big problems.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a very interesting story beat for this game, because the whole game up until this point has just been like, no one knows you're a wolf, no one knows mythology, the stories are kind of flubby, like we don't really care. It's all like fun and games, and now they're like, oh, you died and you were much stronger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. It has a very dramatic conclusion, this game. I'll say that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very, very like a lot of shit going on. Alrighty. Ooh, fuck. I hate when the game does that, where the camera controls are reversed when you leave a room, so you end up walking into the room. That's such a PS2 era thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so funny. Okay, that being said, I think we're at a really good point to stop it, considering we're stopping at 9. We kind of just got to a save point. The save points are like a big part of when I have to stop certain streams, because sometimes they're very sparse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think this is a good spot to end it in. So, thanks for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you. Be back on Monday. I think we're probably gonna finish this game next week. So
nice. That's exciting.
Monday, Wednesday, we should be able to finish it.
Cool.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.